Hey everybody, ReefGrrl here, and welcome to ReefGrrl Live. I am so happy you could make it. The whole idea here is to have some fun, chat, get some questions answered, maybe show off what you're doing, and get to know each other a little bit better. So sit back, relax, grab a drink. The stream is about to begin. Here we are again, Saturday night. Welcome everybody. We already have 17 people and climbing in here. And tonight it was Tony Close UK Reef who was first. Hello Tony. Hi Useless Reefer. WVU Reefer. Not first on the chat, but first in love. That's awesome. Braveheart Reefer 525. Hello. Hey Calypso's Reefs. How you doing, Hector? And T40 Reefer is here. Nice to see you, T40. Q-Balls Reef. Hello, Q-Balls Reef. I just subbed to you this week. I think we've corresponded a little bit in the comments on your video. Hi, Bongos Reef. Oh, look at that. Hello from the UK. It's been lovely and sunny here. We had a beautiful day here today. It was a little cool by some standards, but the sun was shining, had a little tiny bit of rain, not much, and it was a lovely May day. There's Insane Reefer. How you doing, Oscar? Anya Libman. Hi, Anya. Nice to see you. I don't think I've seen you in here before. And Drama D is here. Camaro Kid. Petsotics. Hello. Davis Jew 1. Hi, Dawn. How are you doing? That's awesome that everyone's here. So until we have somebody else in the studio here to take away from me talking, I do have a little bit of a video to show you of an update on the 90-gallon holding tank. My daughter sent it to me tonight. Yesterday was the first piece that I moved from the big tank, Amathia's Garden, that was a piece of the reef and not just a loose coral. Oh, a couple more people snuck in. Hey, Reef Keeper. Had some minor surgery. Drop my thumbs up. Oh, that's great. Thanks, Phil. I appreciate that. I hope you're doing well after your surgery. Ichthayo Stuff. Nice to see you. Straight Reefer. Hi, Straight Reefer. Chad Kurtz. Nice to see you too. Wow. This is awesome. So I'll show you this little video. And let me just find it here. Okay. And this is the 90-gallon holding tank that is set up at my daughter's house with the beginnings of the move of my Red Sea Reefer XL 425. So on the right, the Cinerina, the Scoli, the Pectinias. There's the red button Scoli, or the orange. And check out the Goniopora. I was not expecting this because those things are a little bit persnickety, and so the water must be okay. I discovered yesterday when I brought that stuff over, I did a power check, and my two Luxbird lights were generating almost 600 par 2 inches below the surface of the water. It was ridiculous, and I'm very, very glad I checked. So you can see from that nothing is dying, nothing looks like it's shriveling up and hating its environment. I have the Mollies there. They were put there to help with the biological, with their biological contribution to getting the reef going. And we'll be removing those and putting them back into Mollywood once I move my other fish over. I really don't want the Mollies to be bullied and terrorized because they're kind of dumb and they won't run away. They just have no clue, and they end up really being beaten up. So I won't leave them in there when I bring my other fish in because I don't want to subject them to that. So yeah, I don't think I have any more excuses to hold back. It's really going to be a challenge to break apart the big reef because many corals are encrusted across more than one rock structure, and I'll have to very carefully choose which piece to take first, where to start. But I think once I get going, it's just going to be all systems go and get it moved over. So that's my update. And I think we have more people in the chat. Let's see here. Sean's Fish Tanks. Hi, Sean. Oh, sorry I've been away. Had some setbacks. Tons of work to do. Oh, no, I'm sorry to hear that. But you'll come back, I'm sure. Oh, and look, Oscar says he has some things to show later on. Good. I look forward to that. There's Producer Reef. How are you doing tonight? And Cobalt's Reef is starting a new 30-gallon tank this week. Updates on his channel soon. Yeah, go over and check out Cobalt's Reef on YouTube. I looked at a couple of the videos, and it's interesting what he's got going on over there. The most recent one I watched was about what he did to modify some Chinese black box LED lights and improve the lighting situation. So yeah, it was interesting. Worth checking out. The Salty Reef. Hello, the Salty Reef. Oh, who else did I? Oh, I didn't miss anybody yet. Wow, open already. Yeah, the Goniopora, that quite surprised me. When I first got that thing, it took about a week for the tentacles to come out fully. Now, they're not out fully, but really, it's like 24 hours, and there's no bald spots on it. So I'm quite pleased about that. Do you think Mollies would be good in a Seahorse tank? I don't think they would clash with Seahorses. I'm sure anyone else in the chat who has experience with Seahorses might be able to chime in. I just know Molly behavior, and the only fish I've ever seen them fight, if you will, is their own kind. Usually it's the males who put their dorsal fins up and sort of swirl around each other. Only occasionally do they even chase each other. They just sort of posture. So I can't imagine a molly would go after a seahorse unless it had algae growing on it. Then it might go after the algae. But yeah, if you have any kinds of algae in there that you want taken care of, the molly is your best bet if it's a small tank, because they are really champion algae eaters for sure. Hey, Terran's Little Ocean, nice to see you. I understand you're from Canada as well, Southern Ontario, I seem to remember. I did look through the replay from last week, and I saw there were a couple people in here from Ontario. Dan Middleton, I didn't get to say hi to Dan. I don't know, Dan, if you're here tonight, but if you are, hello. If you're not, maybe you'll see the replay. So I apologize for missing you last week. Ichthyo stuff. Gotta watch aggressive eaters with seahorses. Yeah, you're right. I can picture mollies being very quick, aggressive eaters. Not that they would fight other fish for food, but they would do their best to get there first. But I have seen them take food from each other too. So, yeah, the salty reef, faster eaters, definitely. Hey, Nat King Reef, nice to see you. Producer Reef, they eat all types of algae. They don't eat Bryopsis that I know of. They won't eat green hair algae if it's long and flowing. However, if you go in and crop it back, as in the first stage of getting rid of an outbreak is manual removal of as much as you can. And if you go in and do that, they will work away at the base. So whatever's left behind, they're constantly picking at the rocks. I have seen them pick at turf algae. I don't know that they eliminate it. And it's quite possible they're picking at other things that are on the turf algae. I know my foxface will eat turf algae. But as for mollies, it's usually the green hair algae never gets a chance to even start in my tank because they get at it before it gets anywhere. So I don't know if that helps. Terrence Little Ocean, Niagara, nice. There's Carlos 23. Happy Saturday, Reefers. Hi, my favorite Reef Girl. Hey, my favorite Carlos. Nice to see you. Great. Oh my goodness, we were already up to 37 people watching. Mr. DKH just popped in. Howdy to you. This is great. So just a quick poll since we have almost 40 people here. Comment yes if you watched the whole reminder video for this week from start to finish. Just put a yes in the comments. I'm just curious about how many people watched that whole thing. I do have a reason for asking. Let's see what we get here. And then once I see your answers, I'll tell you why I'm asking. Hey, Johnny Martinez. Nice to see you. Oh, there's Dan. Hey, Dan, I hope you're doing well. Dan, was it you from whom I bought the coral skeletons? I think it might have been, because they are going to be the center star of my next tank. I'm curing them right now, so I'm pretty excited about that. And Johnny Martinez had a question. Let me see. Johnny checking in. 40-gallon Innovative Marine all-in-one. I found it a 1/4 inch off level. Is that dangerous? I'm sure there'll be lots of help from the chat here. My first reaction would be to say it depends whether you have any kind of a power head or wave maker or water pumping at that place. So if, let's say, the front corner was a 1/4 inch high, if you had a power head aimed at the opposite corner, that could be a point of weakness. That's my understanding, because of the force of the water being unevenly pushed at an increased force of water being pushed at one place. That's kind of what I've heard will create problems. Now, the glass on those things is pretty thick, and it's hard to imagine having a power head in a small tank like that would have enough power to do that. But from what I understand, it's the force of the water pounding it when it's off level. It increases that force, and that can create a problem. But maybe somebody else can contribute here. Hey, Click Clacks Reef. Yes, 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 yes. No, didn't see it. No. 4, 5, 6, yes, yes. Okay. So enough of you have seen it to know what I said. Let me make sure I'm not missing saying hi to somebody. Yes, yes. Okay. So here's what happened. I'll tell you all now. Oh, we're down to 33 now. I said I was going to have a giveaway, and I had every intention of giving away the last set of Orphec glass camera filter lenses for cell phones. And so today I went up there looking for it, where I had kept it in my kitchen. And because we've been cleaning up to move, I need to clean up the house and get things organized so that we can sell it. I realized as soon as I went to that place where I had been keeping them that I cleaned up and I packed them away. And they're in a box in a storage unit, so I can't get to them. So I decided that instead of giving away the lens set, or instead of making you guys wait for who knows how many months until I find them, I'm going to give away a gift card to any online retailer of your choice for $25 US. And then that way you can, whoever wins it can buy something for themselves that they might like if they don't need that. So later on, we'll be giving away a $25 US gift card to whoever you like that's an online retailer that I can email that to you. And I have a specific thing I'm going to ask, and the first person to get the answer correct is going to be the winner. So hang around for that. I don't know when it'll be. Probably halfway through, maybe. See how many people we have then. Anyhow, that's what that's about, and I felt awful when I realized I had said, almost forgot, there's going to be a giveaway this week, and I realized I don't have anything here that I can give away. So I replaced it with a gift card. So we're going to do that later on. Let me see. Drama D. Sina, Women of Reefing, supposed to be live right now, I believe, on Instagram. Thought you'd be on there. Nope, I haven't heard about that. I do follow several women on Instagram, so I wasn't aware that was going on, but I'll have to check that out later if it's if it's an IG video, and see what's up. Oh yeah, Dan, that was you in Cambridge a long time ago. Yeah. Oh, they're just they're pretty spectacular um, in the positions I had them in, even in the 90. But I have an idea of how I want to use them, and all of the other coral skeletons that were in that collection. I'm going to create something with them. So it's kind of exciting to think of building my entire aquascape around those coral skeletons because they're massive enough that they have a presence. Their shapes are really beautiful and quite striking. So yeah, it's exciting to think about that. So thank you, Dan. Hey, Chad McKean. Hey, ReefGrrl and everyone in the stream. Casey Stunna 82, how are you liking the Orphec light bars? I'm thinking about pairing one up with my Kessel on my 135. I love them. I absolutely love them. They've made a difference. I'm 100% sure in the growth in my corals, in the color, and I can't think of a better way I could have spent that amount of money. They were a really good price, especially here in Canada. We don't have a lot of options when it comes to that type of thing, and the price that they were was very fair. What happens here is we often get gouged with the exchange between the Canadian and the US dollar. And maybe I'm being harsh when I say gouged because I do understand what retailers have to go through to import products and resell them. So I understand why they would want to protect themselves against prices going up by charging more. But in my mind, if you pay 30 cents on the dollar, you shouldn't be charging 60 cents on the dollar. And that's what often happens. So the Orphex, that didn't happen. It was just straight US dollar exchange because the prices are in US dollars and the shipping was free. So there's that to consider as well. All of that makes them really good value for money because not only are they great lights, they're more than fair as far as price goes. So I wouldn't hesitate to recommend them. Okay, Terran's Little Ocean, love contest. Woohoo! Yeah, this will be one you might not expect, but we'll see. We'll see who gets the answer first. Who else have we got here? Broke Reef Man, hello. Grundy Reef, hi Grundy Reef. Did I notice any change in alk demand after switching T5s to Orphec? Oh yes, because if there's growth, there's going to be increased requirement for alk. And it did take a while for me to catch up. And actually last week the alk was finally up above 9, which is higher than I like it. But once again, I have to do a bunch of fragging. So I'm going to be sticking with it for the next week or so as I take my reef apart. And the alk in the 90 finally was up around 9, so it matched up close enough that I can move everything. I was aiming more for 8, 8.5, but as it turned out, they matched up at 9, so we're going for it before they change again. So yeah, increased alk use makes total sense because of increased growth, I'm sure. Bongos Reef. Yeah, the 150s, they when I first got mine, they were talking about them coming out last fall, and I think they finally are available. And of course, now there is an OR3 that apparently has 5-watt LED diodes instead of 3-watt, so even brighter. I don't know yet specifically what I'm going to put on the 300 when it's up and going, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be Orphec of some type. I'm just so impressed. The whole package, the quality for the money is really excellent. Now, having said that, the bar lights aren't dimmable or rampable. You can put them on timers, which I have, but they're either on or off. Some people might not like that, but I don't mind. No different than T5s, although I don't know, it's possible there are dimmable T5s out there, but I don't really follow T5 technology. So could be wrong about that. Wow, caught right up in the comments, 39 people. So if anyone would like to come in and join me, so you don't have to listen to me talking all night, it is reefgrrl@gmail.com to get the studio link. And you don't need an app, you don't need a password, you don't need an account. You just email me, I will send you out the link, and all you do is click on it. It takes you to the website. You type in what name you would like to appear on screen, such as just like this. I'm taking my mouse across and showing you ReefGrrl. I know you can't see it. So yeah, it's very easy. 3 broker fed. Ah, Carlos. Just got the OR3 to test from a good friend. I'd be really interested in what you think, because I'm the first to admit I don't have extensive experience over years and years and years with a lot of different types of lights. I started out with T5s when I got the tank given to me. That's what it had on it. And after that, I bought a D-Sunny that I absolutely loved. The video quality from that light was amazing. The colors were true. I didn't have to mess around with the settings. They always looked beautiful. And they grew coral. I wasn't growing any SPS at that point, but the tank always grew fast. The stuff in the tank always grew fast under those lights. And I had them for over 3 years, and they worked flawlessly. And then I got an AI Prime LED for the 20-gallon nano, and from that I moved to the Kessel AP700, again an LED. I experimented with adding T5s on either side, but I never really liked the look of it. And then when I saw the Orphec light bars, when I was considering filling in with an LED bar and pricing the other brand that was, well, it was probably 3 times the price of what I paid for the Orphecs here in Canada. That's when I got the Orphecs. So my experience is not varied when it comes to lighting. So I know there are other reef keepers out there who have been through all of the different types and have a basis of experience to make comparisons that are valid. I just know that my corals love them, and they seem to do a wonderful job. So we'll see. Today I got some Chinese black box LED bar lights that are only blue, 470 nanometers, and Telegram on YouTube and Instagram has been testing these bar lights, the cheap AliExpress lights as he calls them. That's where I found out about them. If you're interested in looking into it, go to his channel, and on his Boxes and Booze live stream 06, number 06, there's a link that will take you to AliExpress. And the ones that I got are the 47, 48 inch, 108 centimeters essentially. And they arrived yesterday, and I have not had time to open them yet. They're standing upstairs in my front hall, and I do want to lay them down and do an unboxing essentially. So I have not opened the package, but I got them intending to put them on the 90 because the Lux Birds, I don't think I can fine-tune them to get them as close as I would like them to what I have over my current tank. I cannot drill holes in the ceiling at the other house. It's not my house, and I can't drill holes in the ceiling to hang my current lights over the 90. So I'm looking for another alternative, and these 2 bars might be that alternative, just to supplement the lights from the Lux Birds. So I don't know, it's a crapshoot, just like a lot of what we run into. Oh, Chad McKean got the Daylight Plus OR3 and the UV Violet, and I love them. Oh, that's really good to hear. So the OR3 is the one with the 5 watt LED, the diodes. That's awesome. Lots of choices with these bars. I'm assuming I'm assuming they're still gonna have the OR2s, but I don't know. It would make sense that they would replace them with an upgraded model, but that's extra power too, I'm guessing. Carlos, going back 15 years, I started with Power Compact. Oh yeah, I bought a used aquarium and it had a light fixture with it that had Power Compact bulbs in it. And it was pretty corroded, so we never ever did use it. Oh, Johnny says, thank you for your input. I did lower the power head flow. Yeah, or just make sure that it's not aimed at the place that's out of the spot that's low, because of course all the force of the water is going to go that way, and if you add to that by pushing water with the power head, it could create a point of weakness. Like I said, it's hard to believe because the glass is thick and those are well-made tanks, but I don't know, better safe than sorry, I guess. Chad McKean. Broader spectrum than Reef Bright, that's why I switched. Yeah, anyone interested in seeing some of the comparisons, just I urge you to check out Telegram. I'll put his name up here because he likes to take stuff apart. That's the name of the YouTube and the Instagram. And he likes to take stuff apart and see what's inside. And he has access to a spectrometer, so he was able to measure the AliExpress cheap lights, Reef Brights, and the Orfec OR2 and compare them. And he was able to compare the PAR, overlay the spectrums over top of each other to compare them, and look at the quality of the construction. So well worth checking out if you're at all interested in that sort of detail when it comes to lighting and what's inside. Had a guy from China built my first white box, just blues and white, grew coral fast, then went to Radion G234. Hasn't gone to G5 yet. Have to see some tanks with them growing coral first. Yeah, not having drunk of the Radion Kool-Aid, I have not really looked in depth into what the G5 difference is. So I'm interested too to see what people find in their experience as they use them. I'm aghast at the prices, and I'm not sure that for my purposes, for the goals that I have for my tank, I'm not sure I can justify that kind of price. So, you know, I'm not ever going to be SPS only, and that might be partly why. Although I enjoy growing the SPS, I love the lush, filled-in look of a mixed reef with all the textures, the movement, everything all together. So that's why I look for good value for money, because I'd rather have slow, steady, strong growth than really, really rapid, weak growth where you can't keep up with the requirements for alkalinity and calcium and everything else. Everything grows so fast that it's brittle, and I just think managed strong growth is more what I'm looking for. So that's just me, just a reefing thing. Hello people, how are you? I had the disco ball light with the old 34-gallon Solana. Is that a light fixture, Camaro Kid, that came with it? I can't remember if I said hi to you, but if I didn't, hi. Hi, Romans Reef. It has a shiny G5 on the box. Did I miss you saying something else, Broke Reef Man? Insane Reefer. I love my G5 blues and my corals are growing like crazy. That's cool. Yep. Yes. Okay. So the Solana light fixture created the dispo wall effect. That's funny. I will say, with the Orphec, because of the layout of the diodes and the different color sequences, anywhere that there's something that projects out and shadows what's below, you will not get the blend of light. You will see specific lights. For example, I see turquoise light underneath my Starburst Montipora, because on one side is turquoise, and then the size of the coral blanks out the next three diodes, and on the other side is turquoise. So what ends up shining down is turquoise. So all the stuff underneath, the rock and everything, looks turquoise. So if that bothers you, that may be a factor. It doesn't bother me. I just love the fact that that part of the rocks is getting light where it was never getting light before, because the Kessel, the way they project light, was unable to get down past the Montipora. It would just stop there, and it was in complete darkness until I had the Orphec, the two bars, and the one at the front is shining down in and highlighting that area. It's pretty interesting how they light up areas that this is something I didn't expect. I knew there would be more overall light, but I didn't expect those areas that were in absolute darkness to suddenly be visible. I have a copper cyphastria that I thought had died. It hasn't. It's still growing, and now I can see it. It's the size of a quarter now, and I thought it had died back completely. So it's pretty interesting the way the light dynamics work, and actually brings up something to think about for planning aquascapes and coral placement, because the shadowing of one thing by another sometimes is good, because if it needs that kind of light, then it's going to benefit from it. But if it's going to die because it's not getting any light, then obviously that's not good. So it's something I never really thought about until I saw it in action in my tank. I'm talking a lot. I need a guest to come in and show what they've got going on so that I don't have to talk. Cue balls reef. Running black boxes on my reef. I'd rather spend money on corals. Yeah. Well, this is it. I mean, I kind of relate it to the lowest effective dose for a drug. So, for example, our dog gets allergies. She gets hives in the late summer from ragweed pollen. So she has to be on prednisone. And it took us about 2 years to discover that the lowest effective dose was 1/4 of a 2.5 milligram pill. Anything more than that, and she pees in her sleep because she's a zombie. The first dose that she got, she was so wiped out all the time, she could barely function. And so it's kind of the same thing. Like, how far can you make your money go? Like for the best equipment that does the job without paying too much, like that's a really strange analogy. I apologize for that, but that's what it made me think of is what's the least you can spend on something and still have it do a good job when it comes to equipment. I guess that's probably a better way to explain how I feel about things. I don't believe in cheaping out on things like skimmers that it does matter. You do get what you pay for certain types of equipment. But for other types of equipment, just check out Telegram and you'll see that he'll show you what's inside and compare things, and you get quite a lot of insight from seeing that. And I think lighting is one of those areas where you can get something pretty good for not as much money if you end up buying the right thing. Just my opinion. I know the Radion lovers will always stand by their Radions, and that's, if they do the trick for you and you believe in them, then that's all that matters. What is a must-have SPS for ReefGrrl? Wow. I don't know. Montipora maybe. I love Montiporas because of the variety that there is. I would love to be able to grow a red planet. I've had several and not been able to grow one. Something always happens to them. But I love the colors on them. I love SPS that are yellow. And I'm lucky enough to have at least 2 right now that are holding their yellow color. Um, yeah, I don't know. I have to think about that. Oh, reefing with O, G5 radions within the same range as the other premium lights, AI, Kessel, Orphic, etc. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I guess it's one of those things where I have to stay on top of it. But if you had the G4, it still works the same. Okay. What is a must-have? Oh, stability. The salty reef. Oh, I'm sorry, Chad. Did you mean what matters for growing SPS? Because if you did, I agree. Stability, especially with alkalinity. Hey, Reefing with O. Nice to see you here. And we have... Sorry. One more comment. We have Oscar in the waiting room. Insane reefer. I also peed on myself. Yeah. When I first started the hobby, I would, my future self, my past self would never have believed my future self would have paid the kind of money I've paid, even for the Kessel that I have, the AP700. Yeah. Love to show my tank. 6:30 a.m. here. Oh, good. We got Oscar. We need the data out there to see the coral growth people are getting with the G5. Keep hearing the same thing. They grow coral, but it's no data. Yeah. I think, honestly, I think it's too subjective, and I think there are too many factors. You'd have to do a controlled experiment where all else was equal. All the water in the system was the same, and you just had a different light on several different vessels and compare it. I imagine it's the kind of thing BRS would do. I'm just going to bring in Insane Reefer over here, and then I'm going to say hi to a few more people. There's Insane Reefer. Hey, Oscar.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
How are you? Thank you for rescuing me from talking here for 2 hours. Because believe me, I could do it. Hey, JV Gwaltney. Picked up a couple cleaner shrimp. Oh, does everybody remember JV from last week? He was asking about the green stuff on his rocks and had no cleanup crew, so he did get a couple cleaner shrimp and some snails this week. Yeah, cleaner shrimp are amazing. They're fascinating to watch. Hi, Amanda Bassel. Oh, we lost Oscar. I wasn't over there with my mouse. I didn't kick him out. Hey, Method. Nice to see you. Harlequin shrimp. Ooh. Hiding. Any experience with one? Yellow Porites is one of my all-time favorites. Yeah. Let's get Oscar back here. Hey, what happened? It wasn't me. My mouse was over there.
Well, I was trying to switch my camera, but for some reason
Oh.
it's not letting me, so I don't know
Oh.
what happened.
Huh.
Uh,
You want to try again?
yeah, I don't know. I was able to do it before. I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a strange bug.
Yeah, it doesn't like give me the option for some reason.
Oh, that's odd.
And I wanted to show you my tank. It
Mm-hmm.
actually has the moonlights running, so I wanted to show you that.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, it's not working for me.
Yeah, we just see the icon. Hmm. Yeah, I
Let
don't know
me,
what to say.
yeah, I don't know. I've been able to do it before. Let me see if I'll just switch the phone around. I
Ah,
don't know if you could
yes.
see it. This is my
Yep.
little 29 gallon,
Mm-hmm.
as you can see here. Uh, it's my little Dunkin' there. It's already closed up because the moonlights are on. That's my little Monty cap. I don't know if you could see it. It's growing like crazy.
Wow. Yeah, it looks good.
My green slime ball and acropora right there. It's coloring up real nice, growing. And the
So,
one next to it is
is this? Oh, sorry.
it's a season's greeting Montipore. That one had turned brown on me and it colored up real nice ever since I've had the lights on it.
Nice. And this is where you have the G5, right? On this tank?
Yeah, these are the G5s right now that I'm running. I'm running two XR15s.
Hmm. And that's a 24-inch tank?
This is I believe it is. There's not much going on because everything is closed because moonlights are running, but I think you could see a little bit. I'm assuming
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
two little clowns there. I really wanted to show you my calcium reactor. I've had it running for like a couple of weeks now. So
Oh,
yeah.
nice. Hey, Stage X Tuning. Welcome. So, was it hard to set it up? Oscar, did you, I guess
It.
once you get there, you can run us through it.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you what.
Uh-oh. You just went dark. Oh, you're back.
Yeah. No, I did that on. Yeah, I did that on purpose. I'm just trying to switch the camera, but it's not working. I don't know why.
Hmm.
It doesn't give me an option. All I have is like a blue screen here. Let me go downstairs.
That's very strange. Is it an Android phone that you have?
No, that's the thing. I have an iPhone.
Oh, yeah, because it
I've always
usually works on iPhone.
yeah. Let me pick up this mess I have here first because I was acclimating fish today. I got me a yellow chorus wrasse,
Oh, good.
and I got me a engineer goby.
Oh, how big
So
is the engineer goby? It's just a little guy, or?
it's about I'd say probably about 5 inches.
Ooh,
I got kind of a medium sized engineer goby. I was never able to find a like a medium size. I always got like a little tiny one about this
right.
big, and they
Yeah,
will always just burrow in the sand, and I wouldn't see them for months until they
yeah.
came out because they were already probably about half grown already. So I'm gonna show you right here. I'm gonna switch the phone because I just can't deal with this. I don't know what's going on. If you could see
Hmm.
him, he's
Oh,
right there.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. That is a good size.
He's around yeah, he's around 5 inches.
Yeah.
So and he hasn't gone into sand yet. So that's a good thing. I got a cleanup crew because my diatoms they just haven't gone away yet. So
Mhm. So
I
for
have a
the
little bit of
engineer
hair
goby,
algae.
so you have to make sure your rocks are real stable because they will dig right underneath, right?
Yeah. Now my rocks, the way I position my rocks, uh, I put my rocks in before I put in the sand. So
Right. Yeah.
there's no way that they're gonna dig under the sand and the rocks are gonna fall. The rocks aren't gonna fall because they're on the glass. It's right here.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I got a little refugium now, so I got a little
Oh.
bit of Chato going on here
Mm-hmm. Nice.
because I got a little bit of algae in the main display, so I want to get rid of that.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the grand finale right here.
Oh.
I got a little Camor pump there.
Yep. And that's your feed pump for it?
I
Like,
was gonna get the yeah, that's my feed pump. I was gonna get the Versa, but they're out of stock right now, so I just
mm-hmm.
bought one of those, and that one's been running pretty good. The carbon doser,
Right. We were talking about that. That's electronic.
yeah, that's the electronic one. It
Right.
automatically comes on with when my pH uh, goes up to 7.0, and it shuts off when it gets to 6.8. So
Okay.
my little
Good night,
tank right
Bongos
there.
Reef. Thanks for coming by. Bongos Reef says, must get some sleep now. Good night. So that's your CO2 bottle.
That's a
And
CO2 tank. It's a 10
and what
pound.
a ten and how long will that last?
It'll probably do about. I don't have many coils right now, so I think it'll probably run me about 6 or 7 months.
Right. So Hector, Calypso's Reef wants to know if you want to know about his friend that has an engineer goby that's almost a foot long. He's giving it away for free.
Yeah, I used to have two of them. They're about 2 feet long.
Wow.
But
Okay, so now,
when my
go ahead.
90-gallon started leaking, I had to get rid of them.
So you were able to have 2 footers in a 90, so I should be able to get a couple in a 4 by 6 foot tank.
Yeah,
Okay.
you should be good. You should be.
All right.
That's my little skin mate right there. You can see it's real dark, and
Yeah.
I don't know if
Yeah.
this camera, the way I have it, is doing it any justice. But
It looks good. The colors are good. We can see everything. It's very clear and in focus.
yeah, I got me one of these cheap little Lowe's clip-on lights for the refugium. I
Yep.
figure these work better than just those expensive LEDs that everybody gets.
Yeah.
I just get one of those plant growing lights from Lowe's, and
Mm-hmm.
that grows my Chaeto like crazy. So people out there that say, "Oh, I can't grow Chaeto, my Chaeto dies," hey, get yourself a little plant growing light from Lowe's, and that
Yeah.
should work.
I have a par 30 light that I got on eBay from a vendor called Coral Compulsion, and I was able to find a light that clamps on, which doesn't have a shade. It only has a socket. And so I just screw that bulb right into the socket, and that's what I use. And when I put that on, oh wow, did the Chaeto ever take off? Oh, we got Hector here in the waiting room. So, how are things looking in here right now? Hector, I'll bring you in a second. Are you done, Oscar, showing us?
Oh yeah, I could talk here a little bit. A little bit. You could get Hector in if you want. I don't
Sure,
have
okay.
much to show anyway. I just wanted to show you my calcium reactor, the way it's working.
Yep,
Everything
yep,
is kind of
yep,
stable there.
yep. It looks good.
But I was going to tell you, you asked me how did I dial in my calcium reactor. Basically, it's just my Trident helping me out. So
Okay.
it,
So
it
you,
sets 4 times a day, so I'm able to bring up the mLs on the Comore pump and bring them down whenever I see that it's
right.
going too high. So it
Yep,
helps me out.
yep. Cool. All right, let's bring Hector in. Yeah, I'm going to have to learn all about it. Hey, Hector, what's up?
Hello, hi, hi.
Hey, what's up, Hector? What's going on, man?
Not much, man. Learn that costume, man, because I need to know too.
Oh
you,
yeah.
you gotta teach me how to use them too.
Hey, it's easy, man. It's just get the right equipment.
Yeah.
Uh, that's about it. Hey, I've been looking at on your Instagram, man. Those corals are doing pretty nice, man.
Oh,
I
thank
was
you.
gonna I was gonna tell you, man. We need to meet up one of these days, man. When all this craziness is over with, man. Even though if I have to drive all the way up to Pennsylvania, if that's where you live,
No, I'm
I'm
in
gonna have to
In
go.
Connecticut. I'm in
Oh, you're in
Connecticut.
Connecticut, man. I'm
Yeah,
gonna have to go up there and get some of that fire you got, man. Some
yeah,
of them
man.
hornets and all
Whenever,
that.
whenever, bro, they there.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you, Hector's become the Reef Jedi over here.
Yeah, yeah, huh? Yeah. No, but my announcement today is I've been since the 19th, not smoking. So
Good for you.
no more cigarettes.
I saw
I
that.
saw
I
it in your
saw
live
that.
stream. Yep. Good
Yeah,
for you.
yeah, no
That's hard.
patches, no not yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Hey,
mean,
Oh yeah.
I used to be a smoker. I used to be a
Yeah.
smoker.
I was never a smoker, but both my parents were heavy smokers to the point
Yeah.
where the room was blue in the summertime.
Oh wow, wow.
And
That's bad.
my
Yeah.
dad quit cold turkey when my daughter was born, but
Mhm.
my mom kept smoking, and I remember how hard it was for him.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, well, it's only been what 11 days, 12 days and just the first 2 days, man. And it wasn't more like I wanted a cigarette. It was more like feeling my body normal again. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Like just started like feeling some feeling that I didn't felt before, or I lost the sense of it.
Hmm.
So, oh,
Yep. Hey,
Yeah.
Benny
but
Fernandez. Nice to see you. Benny says hi to everybody.
up?
Yeah, I remember my mom always said she did not want to quit smoking because she really enjoyed it.
Yeah, yeah.
And she lived until she was 82, and she did not die from anything smoking related.
Wow.
Just there was other things going on, but she firmly believed that not everybody gets cancer from smoking. And I
Yeah.
would always say, well, maybe you won't get it, but what if I get it?
Yeah, yeah.
Because I grew up just
Around it, yeah.
that argument just was endless. But anyway,
Yeah, yeah.
so it's not easy. I know it's not easy.
No, and it's more, you know what it is? It's more the habit that you create while you smoke. Because you eat, you go smoke. You think about something and get you excited, you need to smoke. You
Yeah,
drink a coffee, you need to smoke. So everything has to do with a cigarette. So the way I would say the way to do it, just try to keep doing the same thing, but not smoking.
yeah.
Cause that's what I do. Like when I feel like smoking, I go outside like I used to do. But then I
Mhm,
come back inside. It's like my brain register. Okay, he just went outside, came back in,
mhm.
and the craving went away.
Well,
You
you're
know?
You see,
breaking a
I'm gonna tell you
habit.
what. I'm gonna
Yeah,
tell you what. When I was a smoker, I smoked for 15 years.
yeah,
It's been about, well, I'm 42 right now, so I can't recall how many years, but it's been more than 15 years since I quit smoking.
yeah. That's good.
Uh, I went to church. I started going to church,
Yep,
and I
yep.
said, you know what? I'm real, religious, and I said, I just think it's God to help me out
Nice.
to quit, because I said, you know what, God, I can't do this on my own.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I need your help, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna
I
tell you
mean,
what, I just quit,
I
and
didn't
ever
do it. I didn't
since.
do. I didn't do it by myself either. I got my faith in God. That He's the one helping me through all this situation, and that was my first thought. I need help this time.
Yeah.
Because I
Yep.
mean, you got to prove from your part first. Then God will do the rest.
Good for you. Hey, PR
Yeah.
Fish Girl,
Yep.
Ugly Man's Reefing.
But we're here. We're here.
Wow, you
Yeah.
guys.
Monica's in the room, huh?
Yeah.
Monica's in the house.
Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for
Money.
you guys. That's awesome. I wish
Yeah.
God could help me quit eating potato chips. I'd be very
Oh,
happy.
hey, I don't know.
I'm
Yeah.
a stress eater. I'm a stress eater.
Yeah.
Like I'm developing quite the caboose.
This
So,
is
I'm looking forward to when our house is sold. We're going to be living with our daughter for a little while and her husband. They just put in a home gym. It's time for me to get back in the gym like I used to. It's been years since I went to the gym regularly because I'm diabetic and it
Yep.
always helped to have the exercise, but I've just gotten away from it and I just crave it. I want to get back to it. Anyway, I just don't
Oscar,
want to be out
you're
of
not
breath running up the stairs.
you're not the only one can flip your camera because I can't either,
yeah.
and I got an iPhone
Yeah.
too.
Well, I don't know what I was able to do it a couple of weeks ago. I don't know why I'm not able to do it now. It might be an
Okay.
update or something that's
Yeah.
going on. Look,
Oh,
this is what I used to use for my refugium before.
oh yeah, macro glow.
And if you see this, if you ever heard of New York Stilo, he
Yeah.
was the one who got me into this
Oh,
because
okay.
he used to use the same light, but it doesn't grow Chato as well as this little light right here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
even though it's
have,
$7 in Lowe's, it works pretty good for me.
Yeah. Have you guys noticed that YouTube on iPhone is really buggy lately?
Yes. Yes.
Like everything's out of scale. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't matter when you click to play a video, it goes full screen and you can't
Yep.
stop. Like I like to watch, listen and read comments, like do all those
Mm-hmm.
things
Mm-hmm.
while and it's just driving me crazy.
Yeah.
And even in the creator studio, you can't do the things you used to do. You can't scroll
Mm-hmm.
across.
Yeah.
Like
For the past few
it's
days or past
awful.
week, it's been crazy. Yeah.
I've been swearing a
Yeah.
lot. I have to
So
stop that.
Hector, are you able to switch your camera?
No, no. I was just trying now, and I can't.
Yeah, I don't know why. And you're
Huh.
you're in Safari right now, or are you in
Mm-hmm.
Google?
On Google.
Okay, yeah, I'm
Try
in Safari.
try Chrome. Supposedly Chrome is but they say if you're on an iPhone, you have to
Yeah.
use Safari.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Basically, yeah. Yeah.
Do you have Chrome on your iPhone?
I think I have
Let me
Google.
check. Shit,
Because
shit.
maybe if
No,
you take the link and copy it and paste it in Chrome, see if that works. Because I'm on a Mac and I'm using Chrome.
Yeah.
See, I just hit the
But
link
if
and
it
it
worked
automatically
before.
gives me the option to either choose Chrome Safari
Oh.
or something else. I don't remember right now.
Yeah. Oh,
But
Hector went out. He's going to come back.
yeah. If he could try it and he could get it to work, I'll probably do it.
Yep. PR Fish Girl says New York Stilo got me into reefing.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, he had he's a great dude. He's not doing it anymore. Well, I don't know if he's reefing anymore. He doesn't do any videos anymore. Uh, but I still every now and then look back to his old videos and there's
Yeah.
a lot of things that he still has that you can still implement that work.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's outdated. You could still go by his advice, except
Sure.
for deep sand beds. That's the only thing that
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Well,
do right now.
well, we have replacements for that. Hey, Chase V, nice to see you. And Johnny Martinez says, congratulations, Hector, for leaving SIGs. Now you'll be able to taste food. Insane
Oh yeah.
reefer, awesome equipment. ReefGrrl, I'm also a Lay's potato junkie. Yeah, and lately I have to get the low salt because it's stress eating. That's all it is. I know it is. With the house stuff and moving the reef and the COVID, it's
See,
all
Yeah.
piling up.
see, Hector
So
did it somehow. Or do you have your
yeah.
phone
No,
flipped
no.
over?
I had to get out and in the camera settings put it to the back camera instead of the front camera.
Okay.
So now you guys won't see me unless I get out again and then go to settings.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why it's doing that. I don't know why it's
Yeah.
doing that. So
I was able to do that before, but it's okay, Hector. You know what? I don't have that much to show.
I could do it right here. Yeah, I did it, but yeah, there we go.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So what you did? You
Well.
got in your phone settings.
So yeah, you got it in the bottom, right? Hold on, let me see what I just did. No. Okay,
The
right.
salty
Camera.
Camera and mic. You see where it says
Okay.
camera and mic? Okay, go there. Then it's gonna show
front camera.
Yeah, camera and audio, and then you go camera, and that's it. Okay,
Woo.
Okay, here we
There
go.
we go.
So we learned something tonight. Oh, there he's gone. The Salty
He's gone.
Reef has been having trouble with chats lately on iPhone.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
definitely need Chrome. Producer Reef says New York Stilo got him into reefing too. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's Oscar.
He's back.
We see you, Oscar. Oh, and he switched it.
He switched it.
Awesome. Okay,
I'm
hold
back.
the train. Johnny Martinez,
See now
thank you,
it's
Johnny.
even better now. Let me flip my phone here.
Awesome.
That way you can see a little
Thanks.
bit better.
Thank you for the
See,
super
I ain't got
chat,
much
Johnny.
going on. Look at my skin mate here.
Appreciate
The way
it.
it's going.
Mm-hmm.
This is
Nice.
a Bubble Megas 180 CS 180.
Yep.
It's actually by Seaside Aquatics. It doesn't say Bubble Megas, but it is a Bubble Megas, a skimmer. And look at the foam on that, the way it produces.
Nice.
And I do a dry skim.
Ain't that the same company that makes the curve fire, right? Those curves?
Yes, sir. Yes, it is.
Oh man,
Yep.
I'm sorry, but it's doing good for you, and I heard good things about it, but for me, it didn't do good at all.
You see the skim mate on that?
Yeah.
And the foam? Look at the foam.
That's what I was aiming for mine, but I had to get rid of it. Never got to
Now-
that point.
Now, the thing is, Hector, another thing is you got to
Yeah.
check the height that you're running your skimmer. Because right now, look what I did. I had to cut some
Yeah.
PVC, and it's all about the where you have it set up.
Yeah, but I try it all, brother. Cindy even sent me her pump.
I tried it all too.
What
and I
was
don't
it?
care.
A PSK 1000?
No, mine was
Or
a
what was
Curve
it?
A5. A Curve A5. I swear that pump was too strong
I have a
for the
PSK 1000
configuration
pump on
of the
that one.
body.
It's a C-shape pump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This skimmer's running.
Yeah.
No, I swear the pump
See,
was
now you can
overpowered.
appreciate better my equipment. Sexy. Look at that.
Nice. Hey, Murphy's Aquatics, DC
I love
skimmers
that
all
thing,
the
man. I'm
way.
telling you. I already
Yeah.
did the first replacement on the reagents.
Yep.
Well, on the A, because this is still the first 2 months that I have on it, but I still have a
Now,
pack that's 6 months.
my question is now, okay, if that's doing the test for you, have you doing the test on the site to see if they match?
It does by a couple of points.
Okay.
It's ranging for about well, not points, but let me see how I
Yeah,
would
yeah.
say it.
No,
Yeah,
I
points.
understand. Yeah, points. Yeah.
It's about 3 points up on the Hannah checker.
Yep.
So,
Okay. Yeah,
but
that
it's
ain't that ain't.
it's about in range, I'd say.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. It takes a big job out of your hands.
Yeah, this PM1, if believe it or not, I got it from a local reefer
Yep.
because I tried getting it online and I couldn't get it. So,
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, pretty soon we get to that level. That level of reefing. uh,
Yeah, I don't know if I'll ever get there.
Nah.
We'll see.
Yeah, you
Well,
will.
I'm
You
I'm
headed
looking
there.
at you know what? I'm looking at GHL because they have the ion director and you don't
Yeah.
need
believe it or not, I
reagents
only have
with
two
it.
corals in this tank, Hector.
2 corals.
Two corals. That's all I have.
Hey,
This, yeah,
that's how it starts.
hey, this is a pink Floyd, pink lemonade. This is
Yeah.
a Floyd Tyree. No, wait. No, I'm sorry. Where I come up Floyd with? It's a Tyree pink lemonade.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what it is. It's a little on the greener side,
Yeah,
but
well,
it'll
it
get
gets
there.
there. It gets there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll get there. And then that right there, that's blue tort.
You gotta have a blue tour in there.
Yeah. And then here's my other chaos. You can't hardly see anything because
Yeah,
my
yeah.
lights are off. But
That tank been running smooth, huh?
yeah, I mean it's a little dirty right now. It's has a little bit of hair algae here and there. So I added
Hey,
a new
but
cleanup crew today.
that's normal. Like ReefGrrl was saying like last stream. What was it, the guy name? That he had green all over the rocks.
Oh, JV Gwaltney?
Yes,
Yeah.
and I wanted to come in to show you my rocks. They green. It's the same thing, but that's natural.
Yeah.
To
Hey,
see,
Oscar,
like,
can
this
you hear
rock
me?
here, they're all green.
Oscar, can you hear me?
That's
I
the
don't-
new addition there. I can't hear ReefGrrl.
Yeah,
Can you hear
I
her?
thought not. Yeah.
No, I can't.
Oh, you can't.
Oh, you might have to go out and come back.
I don't even know if she's talking to me or what.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
She is talking to you.
I cannot hear her.
You know what's funny? Y'all both talking to each other without knowing it. Y'all sound like y'all talking to each other.
It was hilarious.
Let me see what I did here. I don't know what I did.
Hector, tell him he may have to go out and come back.
Yeah, you probably got to get out and come back again.
It does happen.
It says
it
camera
does
and then
happen
it
once
says
in a while.
mic. Here for some reason. I'll come back in.
Yeah.
Producer Reef, I believe it's a 180 that he has there.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, that's a beautiful tank.
Yep. Gorgeous.
Yeah. So
Whoa,
me, I've been
salty
thinking
Reef.
to set up my 40,
Holy smokes.
and I think I'm not. I think I'm going bigger.
Wow. So is this the 40 breeder?
What, this one right here? No.
Yeah.
This is a 20 long.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
This is
I
Frankenstein.
haven't watched that video yet. Hector, it doesn't look like a frag tank. Come on.
Yeah, because I put the rock in there. Yeah. And everything, I don't know, it just got packed quick. The rock got packed quick. I move all the soils down here. Well, pretty much, like mostly the polys. And
wow, that looks nice.
down here.
How's that, Oscar? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear now. I don't know what was going on.
It was actually really funny. And Pat Murphy's here, and he was in the chat, and he said, "Can Oscar hear what you're saying?" And then I was going, "I don't know. I don't think so." Anyway, we're good now. Awesome.
Yeah, they got to fix this.
I don't think I said hi to Benny Fernandez, and he's just leaving to come. He's probably going to go and put his kids to bed. So
I think you
anyway, hi
did.
Benny.
I
Awesome.
think you did.
Look at those things, Hector. Wow, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah, they coming back around. I don't know. Something was happening. I didn't do nothing. I just add GFO and carbon and also the new cold water, and things started coming back. So
Hmm.
like the source, especially the source. They were changing like the incinators. They started like melting away. What else was kind of funny? Oh, the otter
So
chaos.
was this the one where you were having the trouble with the alk
Yeah.
because the evaporation was
Yep.
not what it had to be to keep up with the calc?
Mhm. Yeah. I'm still battling that. I bet if I test yesterday, was it yesterday? I think yesterday morning. I don't know. I posted a short video about it or a picture on Instagram, and it was fine. But I'm pretty sure if I check right now, it's down by 10. I'll go 10
Wow.
points down. So I'm dosing every day right now on 15 mils.
Hmm.
See, I left
And
my beer upstairs.
that's
Oh
keeping
dear.
it. Now you gotta take the walk.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but things are doing good. It just the Zoas is basically what's taking the hit. I could say because everything else is doing good. You know, not bad. And my clown lately been just hovering there for the past 2 weeks.
Those are
Hmm.
some fat clowns you got there, man.
Yeah, she's old already, man. I think she's already giving up on life. See her,
Oh.
Yeah.
but she's getting skinny. You see her fat, but she's skinny.
And
Like
how old is this fish?
about she's been with me about 8 years, 9 years.
Yeah. So do you think she's ill or?
I don't know. You see the side, like you can see like a line on the side.
Yeah.
She used to be fat all around, and now that line, I just saw it last like about a couple days ago. I said, but she's still eating fine, but she's not swimming like before. She just hovering right there all day,
Mm-hmm.
laying on top of the zoas.
Maybe she
So
has an internal parasite of some type.
yeah, yeah. I started treating the tank with what is it, Rally from Ruby Reef. They do the kick egg and stuff,
Oh
those
yeah.
type of medicine. Yeah, so we'll see.
Huh.
I mean, what can be? I don't know. Probably, I don't know. The latest thing I did just add that rock there, so maybe
Uh,
ammonia, spikes, nitrates, or whatever. I doubt it. She's tough.
that tank is looking good though, man. It's
Yeah,
looking
I'm
real good.
surprised myself the way it's doing, man. Because all the changes that I've been doing too fast. I
Yeah.
Is it
put a
just?
light, take out a light, do the sump,
Yeah.
take out a sump. Add the
Yeah.
scrubber, take out the scrubber. I do too many changes and things just been holding on with me. So
Geez, I
hopefully
never
they
thought,
stop.
maybe that's why I'm lucky that it takes me so darn long to decide to do stuff. It just
Yeah,
means that I don't mess around constantly. Even though I'm thinking about it, it takes me forever to actually do anything.
yeah,
So
yeah.
maybe that's a good thing and not a bad thing.
Well, you know what?
Maybe,
Look,
yeah,
they say when you keep your hands out the tank, it
Yep.
does better
it do.
than you messing around with it, and I think that's a fact because I don't do that anymore on this little
Yeah.
29 gallon. And I'm telling you, my corals, I don't know if it's a combination of the G5s or it's a
Yeah,
combination of the Prodibio products that I'm dosing. I'm using the bio kit on it. I don't know if it's that or it's a combination of the three
yep.
because I don't put my hands in the tank anymore just just to feed the fish and everything is growing like crazy. Like that Monte cap, I think I'm in a couple of more weeks. I'm gonna have to frag it or something because
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
growing too fast.
My problem is I can't keep my hands like away from the water, man. I gotta have my hands in there.
Yeah.
Some way, somehow, I gotta keep my hands wet. Every night
See,
I
and
come and fix something and move something here, and
I don't like getting in there because it always makes a mess, and I just don't like cleaning up
yeah,
the mess.
yeah,
But I will say, now that I'm taking the reef apart, I mean, it will be coming apart this week.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I have to check with the LFS to see whether they're in a position yet to accept any frags,
Yeah.
because I think now is a really good time to start doing some major fragging in there. Just
Mm-hmm.
cut some pieces off, let them drift to the bottom and sit there, and then move the rest of it. Then I can take my time, mount them all, put them on frag racks,
True.
and I won't have the green wrasse knocking them off everywhere. But
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
anyway, I have to check first to see whether I can take them to the LFS, because they're not adding to their stock right now as far as I
Yeah,
can
yeah, yeah.
tell, because although they still are selling coral and fish, and they still are getting fish in and a little bit of coral, it's all curbside. So
Yeah,
you have to go to the front of the store, they come and they ask what you want, they get it for you, you pay and you go. You can't select anything in person.
yeah. That won't work for me.
So
I
I don't
gotta
want to
go
do a
in
whole
more
bunch of
LFS. Yeah.
fragging and then
Yeah.
have nowhere to take it, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I've been lucky. Today I went. There's this place in. I live in Kentucky, and I went to Ohio today. It's about 2 hours away from where I live, and there's this place. It's called Gerber's Tropical Fish, and they have a wide selection of fish and coral and all that stuff. And you can do walk-ins, but you just have
Nice.
to keep your distance.
Yeah.
Uh, and that's where I got my my engineer goby and my
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
my yellow course wrasse, and I bought a cleanup crew. I actually got hermit crabs for 99 cents a piece. So I was able to buy like 20 of them because I do need them for my 180. And I
Yeah.
Yeah.
bought like I bought like 20 turbo snails for 19.99.
Wow. That's a good price.
Yeah, so that worked out,
20
man.
of them.
Because yeah, 20 of them. You
Wow.
can't find turbo snails for less than $1.99 a piece anywhere. So
Yeah, like they well over here they like $3 and $6 a piece, bro.
yeah, yeah,
In Connecticut.
yeah. So I
Jesus,
went ahead.
20
Yeah,
40. Wow.
I spent around 180 $18 on all that. So
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
not a lot,
That's a
but
good day.
it is. I can say it is.
Yeah, that's a good day on Reefy.
And
Yeah.
but I'm wearing my mask, and
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
taking my
I mean,
precautions everywhere.
over
And
here they open like normal, they close earlier now.
yeah,
And of course you gotta wear your mask and
Oscar, I
you know.
forget, where are you again?
I live in Kentucky.
In Kentucky, yeah.
Yeah, I live in Lexington, Kentucky.
Lexington. Yeah.
I know Murphy. I think Murphy is from Ohio. I think.
I think he lives in Illinois.
Or
No,
somewhere.
I think
I don't know.
in Indiana. Indiana, yeah. Yeah, he says
Okay,
Indiana.
so he's pretty close by. I drive up there all the time because I'm a driver, and I drive up there all the time. There's this place in Indiana. I don't know if Murphy knows about it. It's called Blue Star Aquatics. It's a pretty good place too. I don't know if they're open still though.
Blue Star Aquatics. That's familiar because I think CJ might have gone on a road trip there maybe once. That sounds really familiar.
CJ's probably
He's
about
in.
15 minutes from there because it's real close to Louisville, Kentucky.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's kind of where I remember it from.
Yes.
Gerber is 1 hour away. Murphy says.
Oh, so he's pretty close by then. They got a good selection.
Yeah.
I was gonna get a Millionaires wrasse, but it was $100. They did jack up the price a little bit because of all this coronavirus thing. So they saying that it's hard to get shipments in. So
Yeah, they're talking about salt in the chat here, Oscar.
Okay,
Just
so yeah.
and it's going back and forth and everywhere. And I mean, the Salty Reef is upgrading to a monster tank, and used to use Salinity, which is a brand I used to use. And
Hmm.
6 or 7 years ago, at that point, it was $75 for like the mid-size 160 gallons, I guess, in a bucket.
That's that
And
Aqua Vitro, right? Salinity.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like clearly the best salt. That's why I was using it, because I was new to the thing, and the pet, like the LFS, knew that he could talk me into buying it, which, and I'm not complaining because I liked it. But then the price jumped up to 105, like $30. I don't know why,
Oh, that's
but
crazy.
over $100. That's Canadian, mind you, so like
Uh,
25 cents US. But you know,
I use Brightwell. I use
please
the Neo
come get
Marine
my
Brightwell.
Melanurus.
Oh yeah, Murphy. All
There
right,
you go.
I'll take it. Is it bad?
Yeah.
Who needs Craigslist? We got live stream.
Uh, yeah.
You guys, they're Billy Pipe says he likes to use Morton's iodized salt. It's good for tanks and a plate of French fries. Camaro Kid says red can or blue can. Billy says blue can. Oh, yeah. Braveheart
Hey,
Reefer.
there was
Salt's a great
actually
flow.
there was actually somebody who asked once if they could use kitchen salt for a reef tank.
Yeah, they did. I heard that
Yep.
before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I, I, I,
Well,
I think I think it was in Mila's Reef's live stream.
All right, guys.
wow.
I gotta be out. I thank you, Cindy, for having me.
Okay, thanks Hector for
Yeah,
coming in and
I
showing
gotta.
us all
Yeah,
of
no
the
problem.
beautiful stuff. And keep the
Yeah.
faith. Keep off the
Yeah.
cigarettes, and
Yep. That's it. They done.
Yeah.
you'll
Now,
last
now I can
longer.
buy more stuff. Now I can buy more
It,
stuff for the reef.
hey, bonus.
Yep. All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Yeah. Good
Yeah.
night,
You too,
Hector.
man.
Yeah,
I
take
was
care.
kind of out too because I just ran from next door. I was in my next door neighbor's house having a couple of drinks, and the live stream came on. I said, you know what, I got to get in at least for a little while because it's been about 3 weeks I haven't been able to get in, and it's
Yeah,
because I've been working Sundays. So
wow.
that's what's going on. Yeah, but
Yeah,
that's over with. Yeah, that's over with. I'm back to my weekends again.
nice. Well, Murphy
Yeah.
says his Melanurus will eat any invert it can fit in its mouth. So
Well, you could
you
keep it then.
decide.
You could keep it, Murphy. I love my hermit crabs. I need them.
Yep. Yep. I
So
I need some
yeah,
this week too. My
that's what's
LFS
been going
finally
on.
did get some.
Yeah,
Good. Good, good.
that's what's been going on with my tank. Got that calcium reactor hooked up, and the Trident's been running for almost 2 months now. So that's
Mhm.
doing good. I love it.
Good.
I recommend anybody who wants stability in their tanks to go ahead and get one. And
Yeah.
Neptune Systems doesn't pay me to say this. I'm just saying it
Yep.
how it is.
Well, it's awesome you're having a good experience with it. Um that's the main thing, right? There must be a lot of people who do have good experiences with them.
Yeah, I say many
Excellent.
people would say the same as well, and just makes it a little bit easier for you to sit down and enjoy and not having to worry about what my parameters are. Did my alkalinity drop? How high is it? How low is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
You just have the luxury of opening your app and just looking at it and saying, "Okay, we're there."
Yeah, I'm not there yet. I still like the hands-on as much as testing sometimes is hard to fit in the time. I still like the opportunity to see exactly what it is. Um, and, then I can make a decision about what to do about it and not worry that it's a false reading, or I can tell if it might be a false reading. I do another test or use another method. Um, yeah, but automation, I'm sure if you can rely on it, it makes a difference.
Yeah. Can you get tridents up there, Cindy?
Yep, they do have them available at a place in Montreal called Reef Supplies,
Okay.
and they seem to get everything in. And they just this week there's an email that went out that said they got more stock. So, yep. But I'm seriously looking at GHL only because of
GHL.
the ion. Yeah, because of the ion director.
Hey, whatever
So we'll
works. I
see.
mean, I'm not, I'm not hating on
Yeah.
anybody. As long
Oh
as it
no,
works, hey,
no.
more power to you.
Yep. I'll do my research. I'll continue to look at the hundreds of pages of forum posts on people's experiences
They
and
do
then
say it's a little
decide.
bit. They do say it's a little bit more complicated when it comes to trying to adjust it. It takes more
Yeah.
to it. Uh, Neptune is a little bit more like dumb people friendly, like me, to where I'm not too good in technology. Like I've always said, it's real easy. They say GHO, it's a little bit more difficult for you to be able to program it and all that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I've read different pluses and minuses on it, and I think as the stuff evolves, it gets better. So they're working apparently on another upgrade. So we'll see I don't need anything until the end of the year, so we'll see what's around. When the time comes, I was looking forward to Mindstream, but
Yeah,
that was a pipe dream,
that
so,
that didn't
you
happen.
know, no, too bad.
I just think they blew their budget. That's what it is.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they were overly ambitious and if they would have started with just a couple parameters that they knew for sure they could handle, instead of trying to do this whole spectrum of 11 or 17 or whatever it was, different parameters, and not being able to get all of them right all the time. Um, yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know what the
I
deal
just
is.
say I just think that whole subscription thing
Yeah, yeah,
on you having to pay so much a month, and then up front you still had to pay like $800 or $900 or whatever it
yeah.
was to get the system, and just people, it's unattractive when you
Yeah,
say,
well, I looked at it though as it's kind of the same as having to buy reagents.
yeah,
It's just a different kind of thing. So, oh well, we'll see what's around when the time comes and see what decision I make. See if I can let go of that control.
yeah.
Yep.
Now I saw your
Oh,
video the other day about a couple of corals you had put in to the other tank.
yep.
How was that working out?
Pretty good. Pretty
Good.
good. Were you? I don't know if you were around. I can play this video again. We might have different people now. This is my daughter sent this today, and it is a short video of how the tank looked about 3 hours ago. So she just kind of did a slow pan across, and I'll unmute my mic so that I can kind of tell you what's what. So we've got the Cinerina, the Scoli, couple Pectinia, another Scoli. The green Goniopora is looking great, which really surprised me. It's already out, no bald spots. Cyphastrias, that Season's Greetings is bleached. A couple of acans, and these have been in the tank for a couple of weeks. So they're all doing well. And I mentioned early in the stream that I discovered yesterday that the par at about 2 inches below the water was about 600. So on the sand bed was around 250. So I was blasting light in there. So I changed it so that
Wow.
now the sand bed's around 90 to 100.
That's a lot of
Because,
par.
yeah, and that's from two black box lights, Luxbird. So
Yeah.
I'm glad I checked it because I'm going to be moving more in, and the last thing I want to do is cook my coral without
Yeah.
realizing
I, I
that.
ran I ran mine up to about 30% the other day, and they were at 25%, and it's at probably about 125 par at the surface of the water, and I'm
Yeah,
still afraid to even just crank it up more, you know, and killing my coral. So I'm just going little by little.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
going up
I think
five.
that's
I'm going up 5% every 2-3 weeks
yeah, it's a good
just to be
idea.
safe.
Yep. Better safe than sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. Thank you, Billy. Donation towards 150 turbo snails. Awesome. Thank you. I'm going to get me some blue leg hermit crabs because they got them back in stock. So they should take care of the algae that's going on in the 90 right now. There is a lot of algae, but that's to be expected.
Yeah.
And the mollies are taking care of it. We haven't fed them in 2 weeks. They're cleaning it all up. It's starting to gradually fade away. And I'm going to clean the canister filters because I have seen tufts of it in the water. So I'm sure that there's going to be some clogging up the filter before long. So
I don't freak out about hair algae anymore. I mean, I used to,
nah.
but now I know what to do about it. So I don't even dose any vibrant or anything. None of that, you know, those new products that they're coming out with. I just do it the natural way,
Yeah.
just water changes and pull the stuff out.
So you know what? You know what's funny? I was thinking about this the other day. They started advocating the use of bacteria to quick start cycles, right? So after a week, your cycle's done. So people start a reef tank. After a week, their cycle's done. They can add fish. They start adding coral. What comes along next? The normal part of the first 30 days, 6 weeks of a cycle comes along next because you're not going to get away from it. It will still happen. It's just that you will have the biological ability to process waste from your critters. That's really what the quick cycle start means. So
Yeah.
your tank goes through its natural phases that it's going to get anyway. Oh, and so miraculously now they have products, chemicals that will handle that. So it's like which path do you want to take? I think people need to be presented with this when they're really just starting out. You can take the path of being able to put fish in a week and still have to deal with all this other stuff while you have livestock, or you can take 4 to 6 weeks, go through the same stages, deal with it without having to worry about livestock, and you're going to be in the same place after 2 months.
Yeah.
This is not based on research, or it's like strictly my observations and interpretations of what I've seen evolve in the market in the last couple of years. It just
Yeah.
seems so strange to me. All of a sudden now everybody's advocating start your cycle right away, and then, oh, look, you got algae taking over. Here's something you can dump in your tank to get rid of it. Like,
I don't know. I
you
still have
know,
diatoms. I still have diatoms, and they just come and
yep,
go.
yep,
And it's not dinos. I know what dinos looks like, but it's not
yeah,
dinos. I have to be cleaning my glass at least once a day, every day, because
yeah,
it just creates that film in the glass, and
yep,
it drives me a
yep,
little bit nuts. But hey, I know I have to be patient, and I
mm-hmm,
have to let it do its thing. A
yep. It's
couple
about
of years back,
balance.
yeah, it's about balance,
Well,
and
I'm 3 years in and I don't have it anymore.
and I'm gonna answer your question. I would take the long route.
Yeah,
I would just take it the natural way. Just let it do its thing. Why
yeah,
rush it? Nothing good
yeah.
happens fast.
No, and it's one of those things that if you can't be patient right at the start and let things happen naturally, then as time goes by and you run into other issues, which inevitably you do, patience is one of those things that will see you through. And I sometimes wonder if people that quit the hobby because they give up have been sort of on the wrong track from the start because they didn't really understand the value of patience or the application of patience. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. It's almost like when I force myself to wait to do something or get something, I enjoy it so much more when I finally reach that point where, okay, finally now I'm going to go and buy that thing and start using it. It's hard to describe, but it's it's one of those things that I think you have to experience, and accept the fact that uh, you can't do anything fast.
Yeah,
You
live
really
through
can't.
it. Live through
Yeah,
it. Learn about it.
exactly. Yep. Oh, hey, Reefing with O. Reefing with O wants to jump in.
Yes, you can. It's
You
a
sure can.
it'll be good because I have to bounce here in a couple of minutes because I kind of left the party. Not a party, but just a little
Yeah,
gathering,
yeah.
whatever.
Well,
So
it was nice of you to stop by.
yeah, hopefully next week I won't have anything on my agenda. I'm gonna try to bring those lights up and set them to where they'll go to sleep a little bit later. That way, you guys can appreciate the corals, how on how they
Yeah,
look with the blue
that would be
lights.
that would be nice. No, that was the wrong password. Google does this to me every once in a while.
Yeah, and the downstairs tank, I'm just gonna wait the Mobius to start supporting the G4 Pros because it's that Reef Link is just driving me crazy.
Yeah, the Reef Link, was that what they started with as far
Yeah,
as controlling, and then they've come up with Mobius.
yeah, they came up with Mobius, but it's only going to support like the newer generations of Radeons, like the G5s, right out the box, and the G4 Pros. It's going to
Right.
support those, but they're still working on that, the beta, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I spoke to one of the representatives of Ecotech the other day because I got two XR15 G5 blues for my ex brother-in-law because I sold him the Gen 2s that I used to have on the little 29.
Oh, right.
So
Yeah,
I got
Seymour, I've
yeah
sent you the email. Sorry.
yeah. So I got those
Yeah.
at half price. So I got both of those for 470, 570. They gave me a 40% discount at Ecotech, so I got those two
Wow.
for him.
Nice. Yeah, and didn't you have a problem with the driver on one of the ones
Yeah,
you?
they stopped communicating with the Reef Link. It's what happened.
Right. Right.
So I
Well,
just let them keep that.
there's Reefing with O. He's waiting. I'm just going to say hi to a few people. Hey, Acro Breeder, Reef Nerds, how's everyone doing? Mermaid's Reef. Hi, Mermaid's Reef. Did I miss anything good? Oh, you missed a lot of good stuff, didn't she, Oscar? She missed a lot of
Yes,
good stuff.
yes.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to bring Coral in. Hey, Seymour, what's going on?
Hi, how are you doing? Can you hear me?
Hey, yes,
Yep.
we can.
Yes, sir.
All right.
You got.
How, yes, yes, yes.
So,
Barbers are closed, so there is no option.
I
Hey,
know.
take
Look,
take.
look at. I've been cutting my bangs with my nail scissors. Like, can you tell? It's awful, and I got all this shaggy going on too. It's pretty bad. Oh well, what do you do?
All right.
So, Seymour, you want to correct all the misinformation that's happening here about Trident and Radions, right?
I don't have a trident. I think you know what? There's been a couple of times where I was this close, and I just hear people having issues with it. But I have to say that I'm not someone that will stop buying a piece of equipment because someone is having issues with it. I think
Mm-hmm.
I don't have the investment in coral that's worth buying it and then paying the ongoing consumable. That's how I'm looking at it now. All right, thank you. Yeah, that's how I'm kind of looking at it now. It's not that I wouldn't want one because it's a cool piece of gear. I'm getting coffee delivered.
Oh yeah.
Oh, oh my!
But it's just
Wait to
not.
drink coffee.
Yeah, I don't have the tank size or the coral investment to worth. But that said, I just bought two XR30 G5s, so it's just it's I justified that in my mind, but now that I'm saying it out loud, it sounds silly. I don't.
Hey, you're gonna love him. I'm gonna tell you that much. I'll tell you that much.
I
So,
know Carlos has it, and Carlos loves it, and I'm looking at Carlos loving it, so I'm on the
yeah.
fence.
So, Seymour, if you've kind of stepped away from the automation, I don't know, do you still run a Neptune? Like,
I
uh,
I I do. Um,
like an Apex? Yeah.
I do. You
Sorry.
know what? I'm in that. I'm in a weird middle ground where my background is in tech. I don't do IT anymore, but I am a tech person. My hobbies have always been in tech. But there have been a few times where I travel, yeah, go ahead. All right. Where I traveled for work and then my Apex went kaput. And those were
Yeah.
the times when I had my Apex controlling every aspect of my tank. It was ramping my pumps up and down, controlling my return pump, controlling my lights. And when your Apex goes down, when you're that dependent on it, nothing ran. So my wife was running
Yeah.
cords across the living room, plugging stuff in. And so I still love my Apex, but if my Apex goes down, my Vortex still work. My light is
Mm.
independent of my Apex fully. So my
Mm-hmm.
tank doesn't die if my Apex dies. That's kind of where I am now. It still, handles a lot of the functions. It's still convenience. But if my Apex goes down, my tank doesn't die.
Yeah. I
See me?
remember when that
Go
happened to
ahead,
you.
Cindy.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
I
Cindy.
remember
I'm
when
sorry.
that did happen to you. And to be very honest, that was one of the things that scared me off. Anything that had that kind of overall control and power that could become a single point of failure for the whole system. And that's why I'm still resisting the idea of running a controller, still, because I am the apex. I've always said that, but I have no one but myself to blame, and I can maybe make one or two mistakes, but I'm not going to make one mistake that's going to cause 15 other mistakes, you know? It I don't know.
I can't argue with that. I mean, up until last year, I have two EB8s, and I even have them plugged into different fuse boxes, or what do you call it, breakers, because
Yeah.
last year I had a power outage, and something, kids are fighting, but something happened and one breaker got flipped. So I made sure that if even if a breaker goes down, I have
Yeah.
independent, so I don't. I, I'm I love my Apex, but I have to say I'm slowly like just weaning in the other direction where it still handles functions, but I just have to make sure that if if it dies, I my tank still survives, because it's happened to me a couple of times. I mean, last year the crash was it Kalkwasser. My last crash last year was, about April, was Kalkwasser crash, and I can't blame the Apex. It was me, but it was partly to blame. So I
Yeah.
just gotta. I love it, but I still don't. You just have to be careful when programming it, and
Yeah.
and deciding what critical functions it's going to control for you.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
control. I don't use mine to control anything. I just use my Apex to monitor everything. The only thing I do have control over it is if temperature goes up more than it has to, it'll shut off my lights.
Mm.
Okay.
That's the only thing. Uh, Basically, everything else is just monitor. I do have everything plugged in. However, if I see something's wrong, I'll switch them off myself. I still have my alerts, but I don't let my Apex control everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, the extent that I've gone is that I have my return pump and one heater plugged into my battery backup, which is just a UPS. It'll run for 45 minutes, but during that 45 minutes, my tank will have flow from the return pump and will have heat because the heater is right beside the return pump in the sump. So that's what I decided to do in the event of a power outage. I have that 45 minutes of time. And so far it's helped. But for the new house, we've actually upgraded our natural gas supply and we're going to get a whole home generator because I am not taking any of these chances anymore. Like once I have 300 gallons in a display
Yeah,
and another 150 to 200 downstairs in the sump area,
you need it.
um, I, I, I think it would be really foolish not to spend the money on protecting that in the event of a power outage. Plus, I mean, for with a whole home generator, if it automatically turns on when the power goes off and then turns off when the power comes on, you don't even have to be home. If something happens, it'll still be fine. And it'll keep the fridge running, like the AC if it's the summer, the whole deal. So, well worth doing.
My next purchase is going to be a Ecotech battery backup. So I got firsthand view of what happened last year. So I live in New York City, and I've lived here for 20 plus years. And I think we've lost power. Up until last year, we lost power once, and that's when the entire city lost power.
Mm-hmm.
So even through Hurricane Sandy and a lot of other things, we did not lose power. And last year, I think I lost power for about, I think 5 or 6 hours. And you know that little circular nano tank I had, the acrylic one? Yeah, that crashed.
Yep. The atoll?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it crashed because just within the first couple hours, it crashed and a lot of things died. And I just, the power heads or whatever I was using on that tank, there was no option for battery backup. And then I didn't check the battery operated ear stones. I guess I left the batteries in them the last time I used them. So they were kind of, so I had no option there. But probably a couple of battery backups are my next, probably going to be my next purchase.
Yeah.
It's tough when you live. I used to live in New York, so that's basically almost, unless you have a little house or something, it's all apartments. So there's no way of running a generator if you even wanted one.
No, it's true. Well, this UPS was, I can't even remember how much it cost, maybe $100. It's just meant to use with, you would know this. It's meant to use with a computer where it's bad if it suddenly shuts off. So if you have this UPS, you have to plug into a UPS, it will power everything down gradually for you so that you can safely power down your computer. That's what it's for.
Mm-hmm.
But it'll run for 45 minutes, and because I have a DC pump that only pulls, I think it's 100 watts at the maximum, and I have it on setting number 6, so it's pulling 60 watts, and my heater is a 300 watt, it's not on all the time. I have a Fluval E300 with a display, so I know what the temperature is all the time, and that's what's plugged in. So for me, that as a backup for power outages has been amazing. It's just a lot, because we have so much new construction around where I live. The number of times in a day they cut the power for 15, 20 minutes, half an hour on a regular basis. Oh yeah, it's ridiculous. It's so frustrating. And then you can't find out, is it where somebody took out a hydro pole and it's going to take 2 days to fix, or is it just a temporary, shut off to do something and turn on again? You can't get that information. So, of course, you panic every time it happens. So it's, not fun.
Wow, that power outage and brownout last year probably destroyed like half the appliances I had to replace TV, my receiver, my microwave, like a lot of things, my fan.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so it wasn't just like my Apex and a couple like aquarium equipment that I lost. I just lost. So,
wow. OG's Fish Room, hello, and Richmond Reefer, hello. You're getting all kinds of comments.
You see me looking off to the side. I'm looking at them making fun of me, but I see Billy, I see Carlos, I see OG. I'm just ignoring them for now.
Hey, if they're making fun of me, I can't not see anything. So I'm good. I use the Inkbird for my heater. I don't have my heaters into my Apex.
I use the Inkbird on my nano tank, and I have to say, on my Red Sea Reefer, which is what you see behind me, I use a chiller. It's I don't remember. Like it's the European. I can't remember. I don't remember the chiller. It's not the JBJ. It's another brand, and it has a heater built in, and it works pretty well. And then in the winter, I just drop a backup heater. So I don't have a heater, but on my nano tank, the Lagoon, I just recently got an Inkbird, and I have to say, like, I really like it. It
works good. It works good.
And I plug a fan in one and a heater in the other. And so I have it's the Cobalt Aquatics heater. So I have the Cobalt Aquatics is the primary, controls the temperature. And then I've tested it where I've had it gone a little bit above, the Inkbird shut it off. And then when it's too high, the Inkbird turns on a fan, which cools. So I have to say, I'm impressed by the Inkbird.
Yeah.
Nice.
I
It's
have
such
a JBJ.
simple thing.
Yeah. I have a JBJ chiller, Arctica. It's a quarter horsepower. And I only have it as a backup, just in case my AC, because I have central AC at the house. So I don't use chillers to cool my tanks.
I use a Teco. It's called a Teco. I couldn't remember the name.
Oh, that's right. Tico. They use those in Australia.
It's way more efficient because, with the Apex, you have the power monitor. So you can actually get away with a smaller Tico. I'm going to use your pronunciation because it sounds more elegant. So Tico.
Only because that's what Cam at Gallery Aquatica calls it. So he sells them and installs them. So that's not, I don't know. Yeah, somebody made a good point in the comments here. Jelly Vink, just decide if you want to use a controller as a controller or a monitor. And that is a really good point. I would use it as a monitor because I can see the value in having the information so you can react. And the controller part of it makes sense if you're away from home a lot, just like you, when you used to have to travel so much. So I get it.
My wife and the family, I think one of the ways I got them so involved in the tank was just telling them how easy it would be to do things. So my wife will never, ever empty the skimmer. But she will tell Alexa, or she'll go on her phone and turn it off. And when I get home, she's like, that thing is full. You need to empty it. Or I heard a noise and I turned off the auto top off. One of the coolest thing I got, you guys heard of Harry Aquatics and he makes these cool little
all the gadgets for Neptune. Yep.
So I don't know which way I'm supposed, but basically I got a Harry Aquatics switch, which when something goes wrong, there's two switch. There's like the oh shuck switch, which turns everything off. And then there is another switch, which I hear something funny and I don't want to kill the tank, but it'll turn off all non-essential equipment and alert me. So they absolutely love that because then they just like, hey, something's wrong. Let me just flip the, and if there's water on the floor, you always flip the oh shuck switch. So that's the clean version.
My husband had a really good idea for a video. He said I should do a video on all the noises from the tank and what they mean. Things like when the overflow gurgles this way, it means you got to turn the valve a certain way. When it gurgles that way, when the little Tunzi 6020, when the pad I have wrapped around it gets so clogged up it can't run and it chatters. When my return pump has a little carbon pellet stuck in it and it sounds like something's going to blow up under there. Like there's all these little, when the ATO, like you said, when it starts to gurgle and it means the container's empty. And I thought, you don't even realize it. All the things you listen for unconsciously, and immediately what they mean. The Tunzi 3152 that I have on Mollywood, when the pump comes on, it makes another certain noise. There's just like I don't know how people could live with reef tanks that are absolutely silent. You would never know what's going on.
Yeah, I'm guilty of that. Not the 29. The 29 is even more louder than the 180. You'd be surprised. My 180 is dead silent. The 29 gallon is noisier just because of the skimmer. I have one of those old Reef Octopus skimmers I bought at Reefapalooza in Chicago, used.
Yeah.
So, but even the 29 gallon has an Apex. You'd be surprised.
That is a great idea. Let me know when you've made that video, and then I will make one. I'll let you. You'll have, but that is interesting because I'm pretty sure it'll be interesting to see what the different sounds are, because my chiller just kicked on. It means something. You probably have different equipment. So your ATO is going to sound different. I can probably tell when something, okay, all right, that'll be interesting.
Or the very first time you hear a vibration. I mean, I don't know about you, but if I hear a noise I don't recognize, I will not rest until I figured out what it is. And the most recent one is sometimes the Tom Aqualifter that I have hanging on the glass of the unused ATO reservoir that Red Sea provides. I use it to put equipment in, but because I don't use it for water. So I have two Tom Aqualifters hanging in there. One is for my ATO, which is a high door smart level, and the other is for my bubble scrubbing. And so depending on what time of day it is, I've been woken up in the middle of the night by a really loud vibration, but I know what it is now. It's, for whatever reason, the Tom Aqualifter has been bumped, or it's touching something and it vibrates. But the first time I heard it, I was freaking out. I could not figure out what it was. And so yeah, it's I think it is a good idea.
So my Tunzi auto top off, when my ATO containers, I used to have an optical sensor to kind of alert me when, it's getting low, but I realized when it's full, you hear no noise. But then when it starts to get low, you hear the osmolator pump.
Oh yeah.
Because so I don't need anything to tell me. Like you just tell them like, hey. So my wife would be like, hey, your thing is getting low, because I can hear it. So that's also, I didn't need an optical sensor or a float switch to tell me that. Once you're there, your thing is going because you hear it.
You can hear it.
So that's one of those things where I didn't even need automation to tell me that. I just...
Well, the 3152, I can hear the pump when it's running, and I think it's because the container that I use for the water isn't super deep. But I can also tell when the water's too low for it to work, because there's this very, very faint click. It just goes click, click.
Yeah, it does.
Really, really faint. And then sure enough, you pour water in, and then you have to turn it off and then turn it on again, and it goes. And that's usually what it is. That's weird.
Hey, those pumps are pretty good, though. I've been running mine for years, and I've only replaced a pump at least maybe once or twice, and that's it out of 7 years. So
that's amazing.
The osmolator pump?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I've been keeping tanks now for about 8 years, and I think there's been a few times I've gone away from the Tunzi because something else cool has come up. And you know what always happens? I always end up back.
Go back.
So I've tried different auto aquas. I've tried the ATK when it first came out, and guess what? At the end of the day, I always get it's old technology, and it's so simple, but it works. And I mean, the one thing that I guess you have to open the control box to change options, but I guess it's, you're not messing with that too much. So it takes you 5 minutes just one time, but it works. It's simple. It's never failed on. The alerts worked. As long as you just keep clean the float switch periodically, it's simple tech and it works.
Yeah. The only thing I don't like about it, and it's not a deal breaker. It's the float switch to where the high level, if you don't have a good check valve and the water drops too much and raises in your sump, it'll activate that alarm. Like your high level, it's. So what I do is I detach it from the actual magnet and I raise that one by itself a little bit higher so it won't activate whenever my check valves, whenever the water comes down a little bit more. Because water's still going to come down from your tank a little bit.
So that's my trick also, because I got to know which way. My tank stand, you have the Red Sea tank. So, my ATO container is right beside, and it's probably taller than the actual cabinet. So it's coming from, I have a siphon breaker But even after it's finished pumping, there's still probably a lot of water in the tubing that needs to drain into the sump. So I was having that issue until I kind of got a few extra magnets and separated, separated them. But it works. It absolutely works. I love it.
Hey, Tina's Reef. I hope you're doing well after your surgery.
Ooh.
Oh,
Awesome.
hello, Tina.
I heard you were talking about the GHL earlier. Are you thinking of getting a GHL?
I'm seriously considering it, and especially now since the Ion Director is coming online for testing. Because like I said before, I was starting to save my money to buy a MindStream.
Oh.
But I mean, that whole thing blew up. So
I know.
So with I've seen there are a lot of YouTubers, reefers that I really respect who use the Profilux 4 and I don't know what the doser is called. I forget.
Doser. Just
2.
Doser.
Yeah,
Doser 2.1.
Yeah. And now the Ion Director's coming online, but apparently there's some sort of a delay because it's getting an upgrade, which I think is code for, something went wrong, we're going to fix it now. But anyway, so it's not really going to be available till later this year, which gives me summertime. Because here's the thing. Our house is going to go up for sale. It'll probably be sold within a month. So a month from now, I will know when I have to move out of this house. My reef tank will be gone by then. Mollywood probably will also be gone because they're going to be taken to my daughter's house. So I will have no reef tank in the house. That's my opportunity to start doing all of this research and figure out what exactly I want to do. So during the summer, I'm probably going to try and make a decision and then just figure out, depends what we sell the house for. If I have extra money, compared to what we had to pay for the new house, because we live in a place that everybody wants to live in. So if we have extra money, then I'll have extra money to buy fancy toys.
GHL. All right.
That's always good.
We'll see. We'll see. I've never heard anybody say they're crap. I have heard various things about, and I've read various things about the complexity that they can engage when you're trying to set them up. And on the other hand, I've heard other people say, as long as you follow every step and do things correctly, they are straightforward to set up. But I don't know yet because I haven't done the research myself. And you know what it's like. What's easy for one person is really hard for somebody else. So
are you someone so I do not read instructions. That's just, I don't know, maybe it's just the arrogance thing. I just take stuff out the box and try to use it. And when you're coming from like an Apex where it's kind of easy to figure out, or it's, it's a German product. So we are Americans. We're generally, North America, we're better with, I think, software and it being intuitive. I think the hardware, I think, is good and it's solid. I think the one thing I had is I'm a Mac user and you need a Windows computer to set it up, which just annoyed me right out the box.
We have an HP laptop, like a POS HP laptop.
That will work. That will work.
I need that for my Kessel. So.
See, and then to do upgrades, you just need but when I had my GHL doser, you needed to connect it to the computer a lot more. I've heard now that their web services are getting better, but Neptune when you look at it by itself, it's really solid. But I think because I've used the Neptune Apex and I know how simple it is to just do something on an Apex.
And I'm not the type. Okay, don't hand me something and say, "Here, figure this out by playing with it." Nuh-uh. No.
Oh, I'm that type of person.
give me a task to accomplish and tell me how this thing will accomplish that task for me, and I will learn how to use it. And I can learn complex stuff. It's not a problem, but I can't. I'm not really good at toying with things and pressing buttons and figuring out what this does and that does. I don't have the patience for it. I just want to go A, B, C, D, E, follow the directions, and learn that way. So I'm good with instructions.
Okay.
So if okay, I write knitting patterns. So you know what they're like. They're a complex set of instructions that take you from A to B or A to Z with string and sticks to make something. And if you make a mistake or you do the math wrong, people get mad at you because they can't follow your pattern and your instructions. So to me, when I see instructions that skip things because they assume somebody knows that, when they don't know that, that really bugs me. So poorly written instructions are worse than no instructions at all.
Yeah.
You sound like the GHL is like tailor made for you, because
Yeah,
I will
maybe.
I will not open. I can't tell when was the last time I was doing some spring cleaning today, and I think I threw out a bunch of manuals, and I don't think I opened. They were still in the plastic. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think I opened. I think I'd rather like go to YouTube and do a Google search rather than
Yeah.
actually go find the manual. So I think you'll
Yeah,
be fine.
video is best. I mean, if you can find a video that's put out by the manufacturer that doesn't skip a bunch of steps or doesn't misstate things like use DI or use distilled or RODI water when you're supposed to do your calcium test with their own lab grade water. I'm not saying any names, but you know what I mean? Like if I can find a video, that's the best. Because once YouTube stops being so buggy on my iPhone and my iPad, I can pause a video and actually go back and watch something again if I need to. So, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
I have quite a while to decide, and it's not an insignificant expense. So, I'm not going to buy something just to see if I like it.
You're talking with the ion director, the
Mm-hmm.
pump, and then if you just get the controller also, you're
Mm-hmm.
looking at ooh, okay.
Not much change out of 2 grand. And in
Um
fact, probably more.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. I
yeah.
do like that you can buy it in steps. Like you can get the forehead dosing pump and just get a Profilux, and in fact, I like that you can buy their equipment separate. Like you can buy their dosing pump, the forehead dosing pump, and just use it as a dosing pump, and then buy the ion director later and hook them up together, and we have an ion director, and then
Everything
add.
standalone.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
that's. You know what? I never thought about that. That just actually just came to me as a benefit to GHL, like just that second. But their stuff
And
is standalone and it works independently of each other.
and you know what? You can get it in black or white. Or is it blue or white? It comes in colors.
Yeah, when I got the black one,
Like that
everyone
doesn't matter.
everyone got on me for getting the. I forgot which color I had, and they were like, "You didn't choose the white or something." I forgot.
Well, the advantage of white is that when you spray salt water all over it, you don't see it. If I had a black stand, I would be scrubbing that thing all the time because it would drive me nuts seeing all the streaks down it.
My biggest regret when buying my Red Sea Reefer is I thought, because my all my living room furniture is black, I should have gotten the tank white, because then I literally have to keep a cloth to wipe it down every day, because the minute
Yep.
you get any, and I have a fish that
Mm-hmm.
likes to shoot water out the tank, the minute
Mm-hmm.
anything goes out, you see yeah, so I should have
Yeah.
gotten white.
That
Didn't
that's
With
the
think of
only
that.
me,
thing. That's the only thing. I'm sorry to interrupt. That's the only thing I do not like about rimless tanks.
yeah, true. Well, I have a flipper, and I've learned that even if I'm trying to avoid the frag rack, I do not take my flipper around the corner at the top because that is just water streaming all down the sides.
You spend all
The
that time
splash.
trying to keep the glass clean, real nice, pretty, and there
Yep.
comes a darn fish to get it dirty.
Yeah,
Eh,
I won't do rimless again, because last year when I went out to California and I saw a few tanks, there were glass tanks that were nice that were not rimless, and you know what? I didn't even notice.
Yeah. I think mine's going to be Euro braced.
Yeah.
And I
Hmm.
know that does present some challenges for different
Yeah.
things, but I don't think those challenges will be anything that will really impact me.
I'll tell you another thing I noticed. If you're getting a custom tank, I don't even think it matters getting the, what is it called, like the low iron glass, because
Oh yeah.
I saw tanks, and it wasn't until someone had to point out to me, like, hey, that's not low iron glass. Like, I didn't even realize that wasn't low iron glass. Once a tank, you know what, when a tank is empty, someone, I think Greg Carroll told me this. He said, once a tank is empty, you will notice, you'll pay attention to the glass, the fact that it's because there's nothing to look at. But once that tank is full, your eyes go directly inside of it, so you don't even
Yeah.
notice that
Yeah.
That's
it's
true.
low iron glass. And
That
the
is
low
true.
iron glass just scratched. I got that. I've had my tank now for years, and I didn't scratch it. I was careful, and I saw that BRS review of the Hammerhead. My gosh, I had that thing for a week. Because it the pad sticks to the glass, and it also has a blade. And I think just 1 week with that thing, I had more scratches than the previous 3-4 years. So,
Oh no.
oh gosh, so never. I'm back to my flipper and my Tunzi blade. I'm never going back to one of those. And people warned me, and I didn't listen. I'm like, it's great review. It cleans. I can only go back to cleaning once a week and get all the algae. And one day I was just like, hey, let me clean the glass.
Oh no.
And then silly me brought it back for another pass to see if it was really scratching. And sure enough, I got a Zorro scratch.
Oh, it's too bad.
I know.
Anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go because I've been here way too long.
All right.
Back to the party.
Yeah, I have to go back. They're probably waiting on me. I thank you guys for inviting me. Cindy, thank you very much as always.
Thanks, Oscar, for
I'm always
for
glad
coming
to
in.
be here. I enjoy it. Hopefully next week I won't have anything to do and I can stick here to around maybe 11:30.
All right.
So so thank you, and
Awesome.
hopefully I'll try to set the lights up to where they can stay on a little bit longer till maybe 10 o'clock. That way you can see the tank better.
Yeah. And I think once I've moved out of this house and I'm living where the tank is, I might try and set up my computer and change the lights and actually have the tank behind me, so that at least at least there's something. I mean, these are photograph. This is a photograph,
Yeah,
so at least it's something, right? But
it still looks good. But anyway,
Yeah.
thank you.
All right.
Thanks, Oscar.
Very much. Reefing with O. Nice to see you. Never seen
All
you
right.
before, but
All
it's
right.
nice to meet you, man.
I'm usually a
and,
lot better looking than this, but it's okay.
Well, we have an excuse with all this COVID-19 thing, so you're
All
all
right.
good.
All right.
But anyway, I'll see you next week. Hopefully next week I'll try
All right.
to get in. and
All right.
talk a
Thanks,
little bit more.
Oscar.
Thank
All
you.
All right.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Take it easy.
All
Are
right.
you on the East Coast?
Yeah, he's
Cindy?
in Kentucky. Oh,
No,
me? Yeah.
yeah,
Oscar,
Yeah,
he's in Kentucky.
I'm in Kentucky. Yeah,
you're in Kentucky. Okay,
yeah. I'm in Central.
Central.
All right. Well, thank you. See
All right.
ya.
All right. Good night, Oscar.
Good night.
Cool.
All right, you're in Ontario area generally.
I am. Yeah,
Okay.
about it's halfway between Toronto and London. So
Wait.
about
Not London, UK.
no. Although there's a highway sign near us that says Paris 8, London 88, and I live in Paris,
Okay.
which is a small town. Yeah.
All right, so we have family that live in Scarborough.
Yep. That's in
And
GTA.
yeah, and I years ago I worked for a company that had an office down on Bloor Street. So so down, I think close to the Eaton Center. So I'm in Toronto. I haven't been there for a couple of years, but I used to be in Toronto. I like Toronto. So clean. People are so friendly. So Canadians are so honest. Jeez. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
Sometimes it's not good for us, but
Oh, man,
what can I say?
I love it. So clean though. There's so clean.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
clean.
we live in a small town. We're moving to another small town that's a little further west and south and a little closer to the lake. So we always like to go south to the lake. A lot of people around here like to go north to the Lake District, or like to the Kawarthas and Muskoka and places like that.
Mhm.
And we've always liked to go south to Lake Erie. And it's a whole different vibe down there. And so we're going to be moving closer to within about a half hour of the lake.
Oh
So we're happy
man.
about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Well, it's a big deal. I have a new grandson. Oh, this is a perfect opportunity to show the latest picture of my grandson. This is from last night. Okay, everybody ready? There he is.
Ooh.
He's such a cutie. He loves the little boy in the mirror. Hasn't figured it out yet. So he was born in January, and we have been we knew he would be coming along at some point, so we decided to start looking into moving. And so that's underway. Now we've signed a deal. We're having a house built, and I have a fish room that's going to be 10 by 12 feet with a nice big window, and it's actually a bedroom, but I turned the closet into an alcove.
Mhm.
So the alcove will have a sink in it. There's plumbing for a sink, there will be. And underneath the floor in the basement, they're building support walls to hold up the tank. The tank's going to be 6 feet wide by 4 feet front to back by probably 23 inches deep.
Mm.
So about 300 gallons. And coast to coast external overflow along the back.
Ooh.
Basement sump. Basement setup for all of that stuff. So I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm hoping to get lots of help along the way.
Ah, man. Okay. So, you know what?
Yeah,
Congratulations.
it's
I'm a,
pretty
I'm a little bit
exciting.
jealous, I have to
Well,
say.
I'm 63 years old. If I don't do this now, I will never do it. So I'm getting the big girl tank now.
So when we move, which probably be a couple of years, we'll see how life turns out. But my wife loves tangs. And so her thing is whatever size we need to get so I can have a fully mature Nassau tang. Like that's just
Oh,
the
mm-hmm.
that's just the she's tired of us getting these tangs and then we have to rehome them after a while because they get too big. So
Yeah.
she's like, as long as I can have a fully grown, so I don't know. I think I can tell her like 1,000 gallons. I'll try to sneak that in.
Well, 16 inches, right? Like, isn't that the max
I think
growth?
it gets
16
to.
inches?
I think it can get to about 2 feet. We'll see.
Yeah, I wanted a flamingi, but flamingis can get to 2 feet. So you know, I don't think I can handle that. So maybe I thought a blonde naso, a lipstick
Yeah, but I
for
think
sure.
I think the fish room is, from what I've seen, the thing that gets to me is just space and going under the sump and cleaning. I think when you have a fish
Mm-hmm.
room, that allows you to
Mm-hmm.
take care of a bigger display because then
Yes.
the thing is with me, having kids and it's an apartment, whenever there's a big project, there is a deadline to clean and put everything back together. So you can only do small mini projects. I think if you have a fish room and you decide like, okay, I need to, you're going to set up your ion director and you want to make sure
Yeah.
it's in the perfect place. It
Mm-hmm.
has, you have the time to do it and take your sweet time and do it right.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, and they're also building support walls because that was one of the first things we asked about was whether we could have them engineer the right kind of support to hold 4,100 pounds.
ooh,
And so that's tank, stand, water. And so that's what they're doing. I'm getting 2 walls that have 2-foot concrete footings underneath them.
ooh.
And there are 2 beams that go across the other way, resting on these walls, and then the tank is on the floor above.
Okay.
And what they were aiming for in the engineering was 0 micro movement in the floor. And so that's kind of what I said to them. Like the worst that can happen is because of the crushing force, and depending on the materials you use and all of that. And so that's what they've aimed for, is zero micro movement in the floor. So
Okay. Okay.
I trust them. We're paying for it,
They're
the
professionals.
engineers. But
Okay.
yeah, so it's kind of exciting because I don't have to worry about it. I never have to worry about this thing causing a problem. Like if I moved into another house that was already there and we decided to build the support, then I would always be worried that it wasn't done properly.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's pretty exciting. I
All
have
right.
like zillions of plugs and um, just all kinds of plans for it.
Okay.
So
All right. Congratulations.
we'll
I'm
see.
excited. I'll follow along.
That'd be awesome. Well, it's going to take, I think, probably, I don't think I'll have anything living in it until January of next year.
Okay. Do you know
Because
when the tank is going to get delivered?
no, I haven't ordered it yet
Oh.
because it's a 10-week build
Hmm.
period. Like, and they won't store it once it's done.
Is it
So,
Planet Aquariums or somewhere else? Or is it a
no,
local builder in Canada?
it's called Miracles Aquariums,
Okay.
and I believe they're in Orangeville, Ontario. It's a small town.
I'm sorry, I'm thinking American.
Yeah.
By default, I'm thinking, I'm sorry. From what I've heard, there's a lot of good tank builders in Canada. So I don't know why I just went to Planet Aquariums immediately.
Yeah. Well, I had to get a quote in order to get specs for the builder so that he could engineer the support and all of that. So I still have a lot of work to do on the design. It's basically this size. I want to get an aluminum T-slot stand. They can build that. I want a built-in walkway that I can just flip up so that I can step up on it. Because if the tank is 6 feet wide, there are going to be places in that tank I will never be able to reach unless I'm standing up on something.
Okay.
And it's quite conceivable there could still places I won't be able to reach even when I am standing up on something. But I wanted a walkway instead of just using a ladder because I have fallen hard on the floor, stepping back instead of down
Oh.
from a ladder, and my head missed an aluminum step stool that was on the floor by like inches. So I never want that to happen again. So I figure with a walkway, I can move side to side without having to step down and get up and step down. You know what I mean? It's safer. So that's going to be built on it too.
My wife and I are pretty tall. I'm about 6'5", and she's about
Right.
5'10", 5'11". So I think all we've decided on is that we want to have a peninsula, and it's going to
Mm-hmm.
be her side and my side because she likes
That's
Euphilia.
cool.
She likes
That's
Euphilia.
cool.
So I can do as much Euphilia, and then we can probably have hybrid lighting where hers is turned down and then my side. And if you have a peninsula with like a nice balmy in the middle, you can probably
Mm-hmm.
do flow rates that match also. So I think that's all
Yeah.
we've decided so
Yeah.
far. But I'm excited for your build.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm excited.
Well, it's going to be a challenge, that's for sure. And I don't want to rush into anything, but that's my nature anyway. So we'll see what happens. And I just have to keep my existing reef alive for
Until
probably 6 or 8 months anyway before I can even think about starting to move anything. So yeah, it's crazy. I'm gonna call it Crazy Town.
are you going to use radions? I
Probably not. Probably not. I think I'm gonna. At this point, I'm thinking of very very seriously of going with Orphec,
okay.
and I don't know if it'll be the Atlantic or just a whole bunch of strip lights. Not 100% sure. I would like the option to be able to control them and have them ramp up and down because I really do like that about my Kessel, the AP700, and the bar lights right now that they have, the OR2, OR3,
Hmm.
don't have that capability. They're either on or off. So I really do like that changing quality of light throughout the day. So
I
yeah.
Yeah, I'm LED, but I'm a Radeon fan. I
Yep.
am.
Yep.
See. I love. I think I put Ecotech, Radeon, and AI in about the same. And I think my second is the Kessel. I think there's a soft spot for Kessel because growing up in the Caribbean, I think the shimmer you get from a Kessel mimics what you
Yeah.
saw when you visited the beach. I just think I was a little bit disappointed in the 360X. And it's not because of the technology of the light, it's just that it didn't have it was released in 2019 and just didn't have built-in controls. And
Yeah.
I think that was hard for me to swallow.
Mhm.
You had to pay extra for control. So that put it out of,
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
like that. It didn't have wireless control. You had to pay $99 for the dongle. Then you still have to
Mhm.
daisy chain them together, which I thought was
Yep.
just, there's no other light released in 2019, 2018
Mm-mm.
that you, even if you have to buy like I know with the Orphic, you buy a control, but then you control all the lights wirelessly.
Mhm.
Kessel, you have to daisy chain. So even if you have, let's say you have your display and you decided to use Kessels, let's say you have a quarantine where you want to quarantine coral before, then you need a
Mhm.
separate control for that.
Yeah.
You need to either figure out a way to daisy chain it to the basement or get a separate control for that. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Awkward is the word you're looking for.
uh,
It's awkward. It just seems like a sort of a band-aid solution. They perhaps underestimated how much people were going to want the Wi-Fi option, and the AP700 has it, but the app, the interface, I don't care for it much because I would love to be able to type numbers in somewhere for percentages, but instead you have to slide your finger around this color wheel and then use a slider to get the percentage. And I just can't get it precise enough. I don't know what it is, but something about my aura. I have honestly, I have a hard time sometimes. My iPad doesn't know I'm there. I can be pounding it, it does not know I'm there. So, I mean, I burn watch batteries out. I don't know why it happens. I burn fluorescent lights out when my desk is under them. It's happened for years. So, I don't know if it's my aura or what it is, but I have a very hard time operating the app, the Kessel AP700 app. And 9 times out of 10, it drops the Wi-Fi. I got to climb on a stool, push a bunch of buttons, get it to find it again. It's just that's why I don't mess with it because
I
yeah.
thought they fixed those. So I had one the first day it came out, and I sold it after a year because the app was still in beta at that time. But I thought they kind of released up. I was over it by the time I heard they fixed it, but I thought all those Wi-Fi issues. I know BRS took it off their tanks and went back to 360s
Mm-hmm.
because once they started changing the lights for video, they couldn't get them to sync and connect them.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it can't find the light again. And
Hmm.
I mean, we have really terrible Wi-Fi in our house, and it's a problem with the service, like the Wi-Fi service. And quite honestly, I just don't have the energy to sit on the phone for 2 hours getting them to come out every time and look at it. We've had them out here several times. We don't even have Wi-Fi at our front door. I'm sitting in the basement right beside the modem. My Mac is plugged into the modem. It's a hard connection because if I didn't have an Ethernet cable plugged into the modem, I probably wouldn't be able to hold these live streams because the Wi-Fi would drop. That's how bad it is.
Really? Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
so we're so tired of trying to deal with them to fix it. We're just going, okay, maybe we'll get Bell 5 when we move to the new house and not have these problems.
Do you use, so I don't, I know with the way my apartment is set up, you can't, I love trying to figure out where to point, but I basically have to use like the Google Home Wi-Fi with a repeater because
Hmm.
by the time it goes through bedroom, like I can't get service the other side of my apartment. So
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
don't know if maybe that will help.
Yeah, we
Just
do
like a
have.
really,
Yeah, we do.
and still
We have one of those upstairs. It's right above where I'm sitting in
and
the
still
kitchen
doesn't work.
because still doesn't work. No,
Wow, man,
no, 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 no.
I'm sorry to hear that. Okay, so you
Yeah.
definitely
Well,
need something. I think with my G5, I've heard a lot of, so I'm an equipment junkie. And as much as I try, I don't think I'm gonna get away from just trying a bunch of pieces of equipment. But one thing I like about the Gen 5, I initially thought I would miss being able to control the lights from anywhere, but I've just learned that you mess with them when you're in front of it and you save it, and you're more likely to cause. I just right now I just don't see the value of adjusting my lights if I'm not home and in front of them. And I'm not saying the Mobius platform is perfect, but I think it's a lot better than the Kessel when I tried the last time I used the Kessel platform for first gen, and I think it's going to get better. But I'm a big fan of the Mobius platform now because I don't need a Reef link. I connect to it in front of the tank. I change the flow, change everything. Then I go to the bedroom and change the flow on the other tanks. And I think for the most part it works. And you just leave it. And anyone, if I'm not home, anyone with a smartphone, as long as they have the app, they can log in and adjust and change. And it's another thing where I'm not dependent on one platform to control my stuff, where if my Apex goes down, Mobius can still adjust my, my flow, whatever, my lights.
The basics.
Yes.
You still have control of the basics. Yeah, which is a good blend, really.
So my Apex turns them on and off, which is cool. But if things go down, I can still control them. Yeah.
Yeah. That's ideal. Nano Joe says, knock down some walls for that connection. Easy.
I wish.
Hey, we should do the giveaway because it's getting late. And I don't know if you were here earlier when I was talking about the giveaway.
No, I was not.
I always put a reminder video out every Friday night about Saturday's live stream. So this week I put a little title on that said, be sure to watch to the end for a special announcement.
Ooh.
So the special announcement was right at the very end of the video. Okay, now this is a 59-second video, people. So it's not like I'm making you sit for half an hour and watch. Anyway, this is hilarious. So at the end I said, almost forgot, we're going to have a giveaway on this week's live stream. And so I asked everybody earlier on whether they had watched it to the end, and several people did. So hopefully they're still around and they're not mad at me for actually forgetting about it until right now. But we're going to do a giveaway.
Okay.
And all right. you can be in this if you want.
Okay. I'll help.
And originally I was going to give away a set of Orifec lenses, but it turns out that I've already packed them away. Like the camera.
Yeah.
Clip-on camera things. Yeah, I've already packed them away to go to the storage unit because I looked at them and I thought, oh, well, I'll just get these out again and do the giveaway in the fall, and I forgot I had done that. So what I'm doing is giving away a $25 gift card, US, for any retailer online that anyone likes, the winner. And yeah, so I have a question. I'm going to watch the chat, and I know there's a delay, but it shouldn't matter because the chat will come in order. And my question is, it's a skill testing question. It might take a couple minutes for people to get the answer, but these live streams started on a regular basis on December the 7th, 2019. So the question is, how many live streams are right now published on my channel, ReefGrrl, not including tonight? So how many live streams do I have there, not including tonight? Go. So now we can chat while they look.
All right. So I'm not going to enter. I'm just going to answer a question. Someone said, producer Reef said Reef link is straight with him. Oh, there's always a what if it's no one is around. And listen, I totally understand that. I think where I am now, I'm just moving away from total control for my Apex. I just don't see the need to. You know what, Cindy? When I went to California for Reefapalooza last year, I met so many good reefers from California. And one of the things that was so You know how Jake Adams, when he reefs, it's almost as if it's such a calm, like he'll see a
Mm-hmm.
coral die and he'll be like, hey, that one is not happy. When I went to Southern California and I was at Reefapalooza and met Greg and his reef club, they all had this, I don't know, I think I'm going to call it confidence, where they didn't rush things and everything was just, hey, that's dying, don't worry about it. As long as the reef is fine, everything's good, or something else. So I think I'm in that where if I'm halfway across the country and my lights need adjusting, I think it can wait a week until I get home. As long as the
Right.
light, so they, yeah,
So
there's
more zen. It's more
yes,
zen.
it's really, I'm telling you, they all have this, it's fine. Oh, like
Yeah.
it doesn't have an, I think I don't have enough light. They're like, oh, it's okay. It'll be okay.
Mm-hmm.
It takes them a year when they get new tanks. They say, hey, we've been through this before. Like, there's no need to rush it to
Yeah.
make sure we get it right. So it's
Yep.
like you see Jake Adams with the same thing, where when something's happening, he's like, oh, it's fine. I'll just use float switches. I'll just do that. I don't worry about a water chain.
Mm-hmm.
If I see some, like even when he's dosing Nopox, he just walks by the tank and is like, oh, it looks like it needs a few spritzes of Nopox. And that's how it's, you know, it's this, you're right. It's like this Zen where it's like, everything is fine.
Yeah.
You can do a lot more trying to overdo it than you can,
Yeah.
just leave it alone. It'll settle and just let life be.
Yeah. I am
Life
one
finds
with
a
my
way.
reef.
Yes.
I am one with my reef. So the winner was Nano Joe,
Ooh.
23.
I've met Nana Joe a couple of times. Hey, and Joe.
Yeah. Yeah. He used to be on Dave's live streams quite
Yeah.
regularly.
When we had those
So-
meetups with Dave, I met Joe, a couple of times. He showed. So yeah, hey Joe.
Yeah. Yeah. So Nano Joe, you're right. And I couldn't believe it when I counted up today to see how many there were. Because I just can't believe how fast the time has gone.
Ooh.
23 live streams. Yep. Yes, Calypso's Reefs, 22, and one was canceled, but there was an impromptu live stream that took place that night that was only an hour and I think 36 minutes. So it does count because it's a live stream on my channel. So Nano Joe, send me an email at reefgirl@gmail.com and tell me where you would like to have your gift card, whether it's BRS or Marine Depot or Amazon or whatever. Could be, I don't know. In Canada, we have, what the heck is it called? It's gone straight out of my head. They make gummies. They make gummies of every type that you can
Ooh.
imagine.
Ooh.
And you if you spend $80 on gummy candy, you get free shipping.
To America?
And I wish I could remember what the name of it was. But anyway, it could be a candy store is the point I'm trying to make.
Man, I'm a coffee addict, so oh man.
Yeah. So yeah, Nano Joe, congratulations and thank you for the correct answer. Lots
I
of
will
numbers
tell you,
here.
I try to cheat by just going to your channel and then looking at the live streams. I was good. If I had to guess, I was going to guess 27 because I just looked at the live stream playlist and it said 27. So
Yeah, yeah. And some of those are unlisted.
oh,
And that's the thing. And plus a couple of those are also when I do my reminder videos, I put them in a playlist and then I make them unlisted after, like for example, tomorrow morning. The one I put out yesterday, I'll just make it unlisted because why have them all hanging around? But YouTube lately has been so buggy on iPhone, I am unable to put videos in playlists anymore.
really?
Yep, it drops down and it has my list. It will not allow me to select anything. So I've told them about it, and I mean, they don't care. I'm sure that when they get to it maybe in 2025 after all the other problems that they're solving. But yeah.
Is that why my maybe that's why my music because as I'm listening to music, I will create these like playlists where it's like old school and I've noticed recently that so I have a few playlists that I share with my wife, so I'll put certain songs that I know. So I know my bathroom playlist has been messed up recently, so maybe that's it.
I don't know whether it was the last iPhone update that did it. I don't know whether because YouTube is pushing out all of these new versions like now every time I go to Creator Studio, they tell me I need to get the app. I don't want the app. I don't like how simple the app is. It's too hard to find stuff. You can't look at a bunch of stuff at the same time like I'm used to doing, all on the same screen. So I thought I'd put that on my list of things to learn over the summer. Learn to love the YouTube app. Yeah. Anyway. Oh, that's nice. Coralconservation.org.
Oh.
There's a thought.
Oh.
All right, well, you just let me know. There's a store called Reefing with No. Nice try.
He said sounds legit to me, so you never know.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Ah.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me on tonight. It was fun.
You know what? I'm so happy to be able to talk to you again. It's just been, it just feels like forever. And I'm loving these live streams because we've got lots of people who are new to the hobby, who are perhaps new to YouTube, who are perhaps new to live streams. And it's kind of, we're forming a community all over again. So
Right.
it's so great to have you here because I know that your experience and everything you've been through is always helpful.
If you have equipment questions, hit me up. I can't really tell you how to grow coral because I swap equipment so many times I tend to get myself in trouble. But if you want to know about skimmers, I'll give you just an example. Last year after the crash, I went ahead and I said, this time I'm going to have a neat cabinet. And I ran all the wires and everything was neat for a month. And then I started swapping power heads and I started, so I think my wife gave me the bill and started going at me the other day. But I think since last year, I think I've gone through gyres, MP40s, Tunsies. I think I tried Wave for a little bit. Then I had a gyre. Then I went back to my MP40s. So you can imagine like your ability to be neat with the wires after all these changes, you just get lazy. So then it just becomes a snake, a hornet's nest again after a little bit. So
Well, one thing we learned with my current setup is do not bundle wires together just to make them neat. Because the first time you take apart that bundle is the last time you will ever have that bundle. And in fact, for the new tank, we've got plugs being put in, a 4-gang, like a double outlet at the very, behind the tank, behind the stand, so that when you're standing in front of the tank and look, you will not see plugs. And then on each end of the tank, it's going to be a foot away from the wall. On each end of the tank, we're creating hinged panels. And on those panels, we're going to mount power bars and controllers. And get this was my number one rule for this new tank. No cords will cross each other behind the tank. None. Everything that's on the left side of the tank will be plugged in on the left side of the tank. Everything that's on the right side of the tank will be plugged in on the right side of the tank. So
you think you'll be able to stick to that?
I can do it.
You think you'll be able to stick to that? Because that I know I wouldn't.
I'm gonna try.
I wouldn't make that promise to myself because, you know what? You just reminded me of something. I think I saw Milev. He created a product where it's like an acrylic box that you mount to the wall and you just put your power bricks on it so they get enough airflow.
It's like little shelves.
Yes, exactly. So I think I might try that because it seems like, I don't know if it'll make the hornet's nest go away, but at least when it's time to reach back there and plug something out, at least I'll know where it is.
Yeah. This is how you learn, right? Experience.
Experience.
All right. Well, thanks again, Oral. It was such a pleasure to talk to you, and thanks for all your help answering questions and information. And one of these days, I'm sure we'll meet. If it's ever legal to cross the border again and you come visit family in Toronto, let me know.
I will be in Toronto. I was the Niagara Coral Show. I think it was on my list.
Yes, and now it's in September.
Not going to happen because
I don't know if I'll feel safe. I've said that to my husband. The funny thing is, when it was going to be in March, probably 2 weeks before, this COVID thing started happening, and I said to my husband one night, I don't think I can go to the Niagara Coral Show with this going on. I don't feel like it's going to be safe. And sure enough, within a week, it was postponed to July. And now it's postponed to September. And I don't even know if I'll feel safe in September.
So Reefapalooza New York was June, and now it's December. I think
right?
I'll still go, but it won't be usually it's a family affair. Right. So I think, I think Ontario is the same, where the hobby is very seasonal, where in the summer it kind of dies down a little bit, and in the winter it picks up. So it's going to be at a perfect time. I think it'll do well, but I won't bring the family. It's probably going to be a solo affair with me.
Yeah, in and out, Hey, Johnny Martinez, thank you. Thanks for coming by. Neat Reef. Billy, if you are still on, missing your videos. Jess Moses, hello. Wow. A whole bunch of people right at the end.
Yeah.
We still have 34 people watching. Yep. All right. Well, I'm going to call it. Say good night. And, oh boy.
Good night.
12.
And thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here, Oral. And by the way, everyone, I don't have an outro video because I noticed the quality was hideous. And I'm going to have to find out why that is, because when I have my intro, it's not bad, but my outro is really, 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 really awful. Super pixelated. You can't even see any detail. So I'm going to look into that with the stream service, because I don't understand why that's happening. So I did not make one for this week. So it's just going to be bye-bye, and everyone stay safe. And if you're watching the replay, thank you for sticking around to the end. And Nano Joe, I'll look for that email. And always watch those reminder videos right to the end, because you never know when I'm going to unearth those Orphec cell phone camera lenses and bring them along for a giveaway.
I learned my lesson.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Bye.
Thanks again, everyone. Good night.
Good night.